Hey, family. Surprise. I know a lot of you heard me say on my last live that I would not be going live until Tuesday for Tarot Tuesday. However, Love Island took such a nasty turn. I didn't want that to be the last video of August. And August is like the unofficial end of summer. I was just like, I don't want to end on such an icky and nasty note. So I remember there was a video that I planned to do this week that I didn't because the Ace video surprised me. So I'm going to make sure that before I look radiant, I'm back in LA. I hope y'all can see the difference between when I'm fighting for my life on the East Coast versus when I'm flourishing in LA. So I'm back in LA. I am blocking my Wi-Fi. It's so good to see you. Hey to Angelina. I see Florence is in here. I think I saw Mitson when I was scrolling through. Oh, Roxy Random Me. Oh, that's an interesting name. Somebody said, can't wait to hear your thoughts. Okay, so for those who didn't read the moniker, today's episode, let me read what it says. Cardi B versus TikTok fat activist, a masterclass in performative activism. This is, I don't want to say it's going to be controversial because at this point, you guys know that I'm an independent thinker who is not a contrarian because those are two different things. And I don't, how do I say this nicely? I don't do things that sound good. I do things that feel good, right? So if something is popular, but it lacks integrity, count me out. If something is popular, but it's propaganda, count me out. And I know a lot of people don't double click in that way. And I will also say, guys, I was a journalist for a decade, right? I was working as a full-time senior staff writer and producer at the Griot. I did some work on CNN. Like I've worked on Sirius Radio. So part of being someone who literally lives and dies as far as being able to pay their bills by their ability to be journalistically sound, I just do not have it in me to believe things without looking into them. So one of the things that I don't personally subscribe to, because research told me not to, is the body positivity movement. A lot of people are shocked when they find out that I am very, very, very intentionally not part of the body positivity movement. So because I'm not part of the body positivity movement, and if you watch the episode of Humanize that I did with Dexter, I think it was the last episode, in that episode, I talked about how the body positivity movement is full of really, really mean-spirited fat girls being righteously indignant to everybody else while hiding behind their fatness to be mean. And so somebody said she won. Who won, guys? Who won? Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, let me see. Who won, guys? You guys are distracting me because you know I have ADHD. Can somebody tell me who won? Y'all keep on saying who won. Who won? Let me know. Hi from the British Virgin Islands. What's up? All right, when you guys can tell me who you're talking about. So yeah, I'm not a part of the body positivity movement because I don't like groupthink that finds ways to make it socially acceptable to be hypocritical. Now, the word hypocritical is going to be misunderstood. Hypocritical doesn't mean that, oh, somebody said they're talking about Cardi. If Cardi won her 8-year lawsuit, oh my God, did Cardi win today? Did I go live talking about Cardi on the day she won? That's amazing. I'm going to check into that. Somebody do a fact check because I'm hearing it in the chat and I don't want to talk and keep on getting distracted. As I was saying, the body positivity movement in theory was great, but it turned into something really nasty and cliquish that required groupthink. And so when I use the word hypocrisy, I don't want you to think, oh, if a woman can do something and a man does it, it's the same thing. That's not true. Systemic oppression means that we are not weighted the same. In the same way that a lot of times when you guys make false equivalencies between Black people and white people, like reverse racism, I'm like, the system does not make them equitable. So those are false equivalencies. The same thing happens with fat phobia, right? A fat woman, an obese woman, a plus size woman, whatever you want to call it. I have zero pain around my bigness. So I'll just call it whatever makes you guys comfortable. But a big bodied person does not deal with the same oppression systems as a non-big body person. Even if both of you are Black, even if both of you are women, if one of you is a size 18 and one of you is a size 6, you do have a slightly different struggle. So when I say that I don't like the body positivity movement because of the hypocrisy, I don't mean I'm doing false equivalencies. I mean that there are just objectively nasty things that I've seen this movement do and think that they have the right to do because of their bigness and because they're not privileged, that I think just lack emotional intelligence. So I'm not body positive. I'm not. I'm fucking not. I am body neutral. Body neutral means I'm on nobody's side. Whatever body you have, take care of it. I'm not going to act like big bitches are the best thing that ever happened. I'm not going to act like skinny bitches are the best thing that happened. I don't care. Whatever body you have, make sure that you take care of it and honor it as best you know. And another reason why I don't join the body positivity movement is I gained about 70 pounds. Mind you, the size that I am right now is the size that I've always been my entire adult life. But on top of this size, in 2019, when my aunt passed away, I gained 65, 70 pounds, not because I was eating a lot, but because of my cortisol levels. I'm one of those people who has really, really high anxiety. It runs in my family, so it's hereditary. It's part of the reason why I became Buddhist. And so when something traumatic happens, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to fall to pieces. I might not even be depressed, but my body will get very stressed and I'll hold on to weight. Bridget was just making fun of me because she and I went shopping for some Dominican food when I was in New York a couple of days ago. I bought a big bag of food to last me for the week. She said, Blue, when my husband and I went in the fridge, most of the food was still in there. And he was like, how is there so much food left? And she said, oh, Blue eats like a bird. The only reason she can't lose weight is because she's stressed, but she eats like a bird. I eat cleaner than most people I know. So as someone who could not lose weight because of cortisol levels, when I finally got my hormones in check enough to lose 65 pounds, I barely talked about it. In fact, when I started playing videos for you guys from 3 or 4 years ago, because there's a video from my past that I want to play for you in September, you're going to see that my face is much bigger. And it was only like 3 years ago. And yet I don't make the fact that I lost 65, 70 pounds my entire identity. People often are like, wait a minute, Blue, your face looks different in this video. That's because, yes, it was impactful that I lost 70 pounds, but number one, I'm still plus size. Number two, big or small, I like me the same. The way that I loved myself didn't change. The way that I was able to take care of myself improved, if that makes sense. A lot of people in the body positivity movement have very skewed views around weight loss. And I'm going to be honest with y'all know my mouth. If I decide to lose 50 pounds or gain 50 pounds or whatever, God help anybody who tries to tell me I can't tell myself what to do with my body. So I am not a part of the movement because there's a lack of autonomy. You've seen how so many body positive people, as soon as they lose weight, they lose their fan base. I don't want a fan base based on how I look. I have enough merit otherwise. Now though, with all that being said about why I'm not part of the movement, I will also say though, a lot of Black girls, a lot of dark-skinned Black girls, right, have stories about colorism growing up. Growing up, colorism wasn't a problem for me. Growing up, the thing that actually caused me harm was fat phobia, because I grew up in the 90s where fat phobia was rampant and cross colors were in. So pretty light-skinned boys actually liked chocolate girls. Perfect example. When we saw light-skinned Ace with chocolate Shelly, what did we say? Oh my God, they're giving 90s love. I grew up in the era where cute chocolate girls were popping. Right? There was still colorism. Let's be clear, there was still colorism, but I knew there was a lane for me. I knew if there was a pretty boy with hazel eyes, he was probably going to talk to me. So I didn't really deal with colorism as my main issue. In the 90s, fat phobia was much worse. We did not have TikTokies and Instagram and body positivity influencers. If you were over a size 8, you were a fat bitch. Okay. I remember being a size 12 and starving myself. And I'm actually going to do a video about my bizarre, very bizarre body positivity, body acceptance journey at a later time. I might do it today, depending on how much time we have. So for me, fatness was a huge deal for me. So I'm not acting like it wasn't a big deal. It's just that I don't like the way a lot of people in the fat acceptance movement talk to folks. They're politically sound in their ideology, but the lack of emotional intelligence and the way that they allow themselves to just be egocentric bothers me. And so imagine my surprise a couple of weeks ago. I think it was about a week and a half ago, maybe about 10 days ago, while I was traveling, when I heard people are in here saying they agree. I'm surprised. I was really ready for y'all to drag me and be like, Blue, how dare you be a big bitch and not be the queen of the big bitches? I'm more than that. But I will say this though, about 2 weeks, and y'all mentioned Lizzo in that interview with Dexter. We talked about Lizzo and how she was a fat mean girl, because Dexter used to be a backup dancer for Lizzo. Lizzo's a perfect example of why I'm not a part of the body positivity movement. She is someone that outside of her fatness, I hate the way that she moves. But you're going to see me and her and think because we both could go to Lane Bryant that I should like her. Not so much. So you guys know that I'm not scared to call out people who look like me, right? Including the big body ones. Somebody said, you're fine speaking your mind. Thank you guys. And so when I saw that Cardi B was beefing with a fat activist. This is her words, not mine. She even has a song called Fat Tuesday. Now everybody thinks the word fat is a swear word. But when I saw that Cardi was beefing, and I'm remiss to use the word beef because beef takes two, and it looks like the girl was just arguing by herself. When I found out she was beefing with an incredibly popular fat activist named Samira, I immediately was like, I'm going to let this story cool down before I speak up. Somebody said skinny people would accuse Lizzo of promoting obesity. I don't think Lizzo's promoting obesity. Even when Lizzo was 80 pounds fatter, she was always working out and being vegan. So that's not true. But yeah, people say that. So yeah, Samira is someone who immediately when I saw that she was the fat activist, I said, nah. I said, nah. I cannot talk about Samira until the story calms down, because as somebody who works in emotional intelligence, I find her incredibly performative and egocentric and disingenuous and self-impressed, right? Samira is who I fear I would have become or looked like had I actually subscribed to the body positivity movement. Now, here's the thing, though. She makes valid points because all activists make valid points. So it's kind of irrelevant. If you're an activist, it means that you are fighting on behalf of a cause that has traction, right? A cause that you believe can create a positive impact. Somebody said her and her mama. Well, we're about to get into her and her mama. So Samira's talking points are 100% valid, and nothing I'm about to say today are going to be about her talking points. It's going to be about her hubris, and it's a perfect example. We talked about it with Ace. We've talked about it with J-Lo. We've talked about it with so many people. Samira is a perfect example of how you can be right and wrong simultaneously. And though, speaking of being right and wrong simultaneously, we have Cardi B. Cardi B is someone that even when she's wrong, she's so fucking funny and you know what you're signing up to. Cardi B has high integrity. Remember, guys, I've told you, integrity doesn't mean that you are perfect. Integrity means you have a consistency of character. Whether you like her or loathe her, Cardi B is exceptionally consistent. Painfully consistent. Somebody said, Blue, just hopping on pause the Love Island UK reunion. It's spicy. Love Island UK does reunions way better than the regular Love Island. Funny enough, I spent the entire day hanging out with Bridget. Bridget and I are going to be talking about the Love Island UK season on Thursday when she comes on the show. So that's going to be fun. Y'all know I love Bridget. In fact, I'm going to show a video of what me and Bridget spent today doing. So guys, because Cardi B is someone who's problematic and likable, and Samira is someone who is righteous and obnoxious and performative and painfully self-absorbed while pretending to be a freedom fighter, I was like, oh my God, both of them are incredibly flawed and yet have things that I like. Whose side am I going to be on? So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, today is, for those who don't know the story, somebody said, I can't stand Cardi B. Oh, that's unfortunate. For those of you who don't know what's happening, I'm going to do like a 15-minute roundup that I found of videos online that give you a bird's eye view of what happened between Samira and Cardi. And I want you to not think about who you like or don't like. Just be objective and watch the story unfold. And let me know in the comments how you feel about different people and how they're showing up in this narrative. Because my first thought was, oh, if Cardi B said something really foul about fat people, and Samira is standing up for big body people, then it sounds like she's on the right side of history. And then I watched the videos. So let's watch these videos first. Let me pull this up. I was going to show a video of me and Bridget hanging out, but I realized that the intro was 15 minutes. Let's get right to the fucking point. All right, so here's a video of what happened between Samira and Cardi B and how this mess started. There's a influencer called B, and she did a great summation at the very end, so I want to shout her out.
Delusional. Delusional. Baby, fat. I been said that. What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
I was wondering if there's anyone that could help me find some books on like fat phobia, weight stigma, diet culture.
Y'all, Target has lost their last mind.
Go up a size or two in your moto jacket for an easy, effortlessly cool vibe.
Go up a size or two?
From an XXL.
Yeah, y'all done lost y'all last mind.
Look, if this is what gets us to finally talk about artist merch and the lack of consideration for plus size fans, then so be it. Because the number of times that I have attended concerts and not been able to purchase a lick of merch is a problem. Do attempt to have a 3XL, which is also not a plus size. Again, Google is free.
I can't believe some of y'all still trying to use fat as an insult. Baby, this is an insult. Hold on. This is an insult? I hate to see a compliment.
So here's the thing, guys. That is Samira, right? And she is someone, hold on, let me make sure I send this video over. She is someone who, if you watch that clip, what are your first impressions of that clip? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with the clip that I just showed. I think she comes off colorful. I'm colorful, so I would be a hypocrite to talk shit. She comes off like a big personality. She comes off like she's having fun with her fatness. And so when I said she ain't wrong. So yeah, you're disturbed already, Empress. Nothing's happening. When I first saw Samira, I actually thought that she was really, really fun. Hold on, I want to make sure that I have the right video up. Hold on, guys. There was 2 edits of that video, and I think I just showed you the longer edit, and I want to keep this short. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on my app where I cut the video and just re-upload it. Give me a quick second, guys. Yes, this version is this version is much shorter. So I'm going to export this version. I should have done it while I was talking. Some of you guys are saying, can Black people have a black scent? It sounds like, no, she's from New Orleans. So she's not doing a black scent. She's a girl from New Orleans who sounds like a girl from New Orleans. I don't know her. My first impression was that she's likable and relatable. Exactly. When I first saw Samira, somebody said she sounds like one of my NOLA people. I was like, oh my God, I love people from New Orleans. I love it when they call you baby. Okay. Tidra, y'all don't know this, but Tidra Moses is from New Orleans. And if she is talking to you and is having a good old time, she'll call you baby in a second. And it feels like a forehead kiss from God. I honestly do think that there is nothing more affirming in this world than a Black woman calling you baby, right? And so when I first saw Samira, she had a song called We're the Plus Sizes. And I'm going to try to play it for you in a way that won't get me a copyright strike. And I said, okay, Samira okay, the video is done exporting. I'm going to send it over. I was like, Samira is so fun. She seems like somebody that I could see myself being friends with. Hold on, the video's taking a little bit longer. So I actually walked into this prepared to be Team Samira. Every time I look at Blue, I feel like I got cheated out of Black. Let me see. Every time I look at Blue, I feel like I got cheated out of Black people lips. Oh, that's. Y'all gonna think something's funny. I did not know my lips were still big. When I was growing up, I used to get made fun of for having big lips. And I thought that I had grown into them. And then people were like, no, baby, they're still big. Oh, okay, let me send the file over. There we go. There's the file. Oh, it feels so good to have Wi-Fi where I can send myself stuff without having to worry about kicked off. By the way, shout out to those of you who showed up during me traveling and all that wonky Wi-Fi. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get no views because I'm on a struggle bus in this fucked up boutique hotel with no Wi-Fi. You guys showed up in droves despite that. Somebody, I thought my lips were normal. I honestly thought my lips and my face were proportionate. And then someone explained it to me recently, like, bitch, they're still big. Okay. All right, Samira. There goes the video. All right, I'm gonna bring this video up because this is the wrong one. And you guys, these videos, I've cut them down to make them as short as possible because I don't want to belabor the point. All right, so here's the Samira video. Is this the right Samira video? Yeah, it is. It is. There we go.
Delusional.
There we go.
Delusional. Baby, I'm fat. I been said that. What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
Samira is a plus-size influencer and self-proclaimed body-positive advocate who built her platform on TikTok and Instagram by speaking up about inclusivity, fashion accessibility, and the struggles plus-size women face in everyday life. She is known for calling out brands that don't carry extended sizes, sharing commentary on fat phobia in media, and positioning herself as a voice for women who feel overlooked in the fashion industry.
This all sounds amazing, doesn't it? This is the thing, guys. Samira was so smart. Very smart. Y'all know I don't call everybody smart. Samira is incredibly fucking smart. Samira can sing her ass off. Samira is beautiful. And she's from New Orleans. Like, I was like, girl, we supposed to be friends. And then she kept talking.
Over time, she's grown a loyal audience that sees her as a defender of body positivity. And she's become a recognizable face in that online space.
They said big bad bitch get to the bed.
They said big bad bitch you wanna sex.
Big bad bitch.
Speaking
talking
You guys,
about inclusivity.
Go listen to the actual song. I had to fast forward it for copyright, but the song actually is busting. The song is actually a bop, a fucking bop.
And tell me what this is about. If you look like you can fit it, don't get it.
Exactly.
How you say it? Show us how you say it.
If it look like you can fit it, then you better go and get it.
See, I can't say it like that.
Then you better go and get it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You better go and get it.
Exactly. You better go and get it.
There it go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's so New Orleans.
Now, her goal, at least on paper, is to bring awareness to fat phobia in fashion retail.
Oh my gosh, the lady just said her goal on paper, and you just said she sounds good on paper. I love that you guys are so astute.
Again, Google is free.
If you go on Google and you type fat phobia, it will tell you that it is a system of stigma, bias, and discrimination against fat people, rooted in the belief that thinness is superior and associated with health, morality, as well as worthiness.
Now let's talk about Cardi B. How did Cardi B get involved? Well, Cardi B got involved when she did this on her live. And mind you guys, Cardi B did a live that was for her fans. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. This space that we've co-created on Blue Centric, right? Y'all know that I'm an EQ coach. I'm very sex positive. I like to have fun. I'm a straight fucking shooter, right? I don't believe in limiting beliefs. Whether you realize it or not, the way that you engage with each other on this channel is based on the example that I am setting. Most times when you're in a comment section, if you talk about emotional intelligence, you're going to be told to shut the fuck up and they're going to cuss you out. Here, it makes sense, right? In most places, if you say an inconvenient truth that will normally get you jumped, you know, here we'll give you grace and unpack it with you. So, if somebody said, Blue, do you believe that fat phobia is rooted in anti-blackness? I know for a fact that it's rooted in anti-blackness. Yes. Fat phobia is 100% rooted in anti-blackness. That's a factual statement, academically speaking. So, in this space that we're in, you guys understand that academia and whimsy and emotional safety are a priority. And so you engage in a certain way. Yes? Now, if I was Tasha K, this same group of y'all, no offense, would handle it differently. It's not because you fake or two-faced, it's a different vibe. So I'm saying this to say, Cardi B has I'm a bitch from Brooklyn. I used to be a stripper. I'm a straight shooter. I'm a talk like the dozens. I'm not going to worry about being politically correct. That is the ecosystem that she has created, that her fan base knows that they're subscribing to and is actively choosing when they engage with her on live. And for that reason, I don't think that what she said, I can't watch Tasha K either. That was just an example. Because of that and that alone, I can't take what she said as if it is egregious and foul and fat phobic, not because it's not a fat phobic joke out of context, but because in this context, it'd be no different than me making an inappropriate joke. You guys don't make this about Tasha in the comments. This would be no different than me making an inappropriate joke with my most inappropriate friend. Can we be honest that we all have memes that will get us canceled that we send to certain friends in DMs because we know they're going to laugh? Thank you, Azua. Oh, that's beautiful. Azua, I appreciate you. But can we all agree? Can we all agree that we all have friends that we send inappropriate memes to because we know this friend is going to laugh and not take it serious? It's the same with Cardi B. So on paper, are Cardi B's comments fatphobic? Sure, technically speaking. In real life, though, and this is where performative activism tends to die on the wrong hill. In real life, I don't think anybody actually believes that Cardi speaking and telling this joke to her fan base actually caused harm. Real activism means that you can take a joke within reason and you speak up when you think it's causing harm. But to attack someone for making a benign joke to a fan base that understands the cultural norms that she's operating from and have subscribed to it, and to a fan base of fat fans themselves, this is not the hill that I would have chosen to die on. So let's see what Cardi B said that caused Samira to have a meltdown to the point where her mother had to jump in. This is a mess.
What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out.
So Cardi was selling merch and her box sets of her merch sold out in like minutes, which is a good thing.
Especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes. Now, knowing that my fans is fat, I can't even make fun of fat people no more. Don't call me fat phobic, y'all, because everybody make fun of my BBL. So don't be y'all. I could body shame people because y'all body shame me. If y'all body shame me, I could body shame y'all. This is a body shaming. This is a body shaming space. This is a body shaming shit. This is a body shaming space. You can talk about my body and I talk about yours. So it doesn't matter. If I call you fat, it's not a big deal. You can talk about my BBL all day, but I haven't talked about you being fat all day. But anyways, the point is, God damn, what the fuck is wrong with this? My life is messed up. The lit is messed up. The point is, God damn it.
So here's the thing, guys. For those who said they're not sure about take a joke, this is not about taking a joke. This is someone talking to a curated fan base who engages with them in this way. So this is not, oh my God, if you're a fat bitch, you should be able to take a joke. I actually think that's a very lazy mindset. I'm saying Cardi B was not on Saturday Night Live calling people fat bitches. Cardi B was not, on Good Morning America calling people fat bitches. Cardi B was talking to her fans in a live on her page in a way that she and her fans have been talking to each other for like 7 years. And I'm going to be honest, guys, Cardi B has done such egregious things that are actually harmful. I'm so sorry. Can anybody in here tell me the truth? Do you think that Cardi talking to her fan base that loves the way that she talks to them in this way and saying, damn, I made 3XLs because I wanted to acknowledge y'all. I didn't realize I had so many fat fans because those shit sold out in 20 minutes. Do you really think that the fans who sold out her products in the 3XL in this live, harm was caused to them by her doing this? I'm being so serious. I want somebody to actually answer me. Do you guys really think on a scale of 0 to 10 on fat phobic jokes, this to me is like a 3.5. Can I be honest? Can I be honest? Can I be honest? On a scale of 0 to 10, this joke that she made is fat phobic. Yes, on paper it's fat phobic because Samira is always good on paper. But the way it was delivered, the place it was delivered, and who it was delivered to, on a scale of 0 to 10, I'm giving this a 3.5. Now, why am I pointing out that this is a 3.5? For the way that Samira went hard at Cardi, I personally, this is not objective, this is my subjective opinion, think that if it was someone who is just known for having a grievance with everything and being sensitive, I'd be like, oh, that's just Samira being Samira. But the way Samira did it was so grandiose and condescending. You watching someone joking with their people, thank you. She was not joking to the general public. If Cardi B had made this exact joke on American Idol, we'd be having a different conversation. Can we be honest? Are you guys recognizing the time and place? So technically, did Samira have a reason to call Cardi fat phobic? Yes, because technicality is what you rely on when compassion and clarity and nuance and a pragmatic approach doesn't make sense. But like, guys, I don't even believe Samira sincerely took offense. In my mind, Samira has been successful at playing up rage bait. I'm choosing my words carefully until we get to the second video that clocks Samira's tea. Samira has been successful at using rage bait and aiming at people with a lot of clout as a way to up her numbers. And so if Cardi B made a joke that is like a 3.5, but you're responding at an 8, exactly, Samira's an ambulance chaser. If Cardi B makes a joke at a 3.5, but you respond at an 8, and you have a history of responding to everything at an 8 when it's a 3.5, I don't think you cared about fat people and harm being caused to them. Can we be honest, guys? Remember how I said a couple of days ago that Ace made incredibly valid points and he was weaponizing the truth, and so it wasn't what he said, it was why he said it that I had a point of contention with? Manipulative people love to take things that sound good on paper, that are technically correct on paper, and weaponize them for personal gain. This is what I believe Samira did personally. Only my opinion. And here's the thing, guys. If me and Samira would ever have a conversation, I would say this to her face. And I would say it respectfully, but Samira doesn't like to have respectful disagreements. The minute you disagree with her, she attacks you, and then she looks at your following to see if she has more followers than you. And if she has more followers than you, then she tries to get them to turn on you. That feels like fat bullying. Yes, virtue signaling. I love that you guys are listening. So yes, using a righteous cause to virtue signal and bully, I'm going to always call bullshit on that. But let's look at what happened.
Oh my gosh. So I have like a whole bunch of people crying, talking about.
So there's people in the comments saying, "Oh no, Cardi, why'd you call us fat bitches?" And mind you, these are people who were not like Samira. They were just like, "Hey, I was offended." And to those people, if you were offended, it's okay. You being offended is totally fine, guys. So this is not about people taking offense. It's about the clout chasing and the grandstanding that happened after the offense. Let's see Cardi's response to the initial pushback in the comment section.
I'm fat phobic and stuff because I don't know, on Twitter it was like a joke between me and my fans on like, damn, you fat motherfuckers, why y'all bought all the 3X that fast? It was an innocent joke between me and my fans. But anyways, it's not that serious. And especially when it comes to me, I make fun of everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're fat, skinny, BBL down, got big feet, got...
Somebody said she is rage baiting, but the celebrities aren't. No, Cardi B is not clout chasing for a 3XL t-shirt. Are you serious? Full disclosure, Jason and Cardi B are best friends. Cardi B is filthy fucking rich. No, the answer to your question is no. Cardi B did not call her fans fat fucks to clout chase because she was selling some $30 t-shirts. No. The answer to that question is no. Clout chasing means you don't have the clout, so you have to chase it. Cardi B already has clout. She doesn't have to chase it. Respectfully. I'm being honest. The answer is no. If she was a D-list celebrity whose mere name does not push millions of views, maybe. But Cardi B was not clout chasing, talking to 100 fans about a t-shirt. That's not even how a clout chase works.
Small feet, whatever. As long as you don't stink. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's never that serious. Like, don't cry about it. Listen, people make fun of my BBL all the time. If we're gonna be using these phobic words and everything, then I'm gonna do a BBL phobic word, because I get fun of more of having a BBL than you probably may get fun of.
By the way, we all make fun of Cardi BBL, guys. So she does have a point. I'm gonna keep on saying who has a point because I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of emotional intelligence and not being cringe. She has a point. People body shame Cardi B way more than she body shame. She could say you a fat bitch to her fans on a Twitter live. We watch people make fun of Cardi B's body every single day.
Of being big, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious, girl. Like, if you, it got to the point that like when people would talk shit about my body, I don't even care no more. You wanna know why? Because I'm content with how I look, and I'm not laying in that table no more. I'm 33 and I'm old as fuck, and I got shit to do. I can't take 2 months off no more. I can't take 2 months off no more because I got surgery and like I gotta wear a faja for like 6 months. If I got y'all so upset, here's a cupcake.
That was inflammatory. That was inflammatory. Here's the thing, guys. Cardi B's, somebody said false equivalency. I don't know what the false equivalency is. What I will say is, this is Cardi's entire brand. Cardi is 7 years into her brand. Cardi's not changing. So, at this point, you get to decide if you're going to deal with Cardi or not. Can we be honest? Non-performative activism is focused on impact. Nobody, I'm going to look into the camera. Having your feelings hurt by a Cardi B joke, completely valid. Telling Cardi B she hurt your feelings because she told a joke, completely valid. But turning it into an activism moment when we know for a fact that 7 years in, this is her entire fucking brand and she's never been anything else, is disingenuous. Thank you. This is not a social justice issue. That would be like me saying to Snoop Dogg that I think marijuana is horrible and that he needs to stop. I'm just using Snoop Dogg for clout. I know for a fact that Snoop Dogg is never going to stop smoking. It's been his entire brand. Mind you, guys, can we bring it back to the beginning? This controversy started off in response to Cardi B hearing people say that celebrities don't have size-inclusive clothes. And so she made... Oh, let me tell Bridget not to text me. Hold on. on live. Can't text. So Cardi B is someone who, if I was a fat activist who was trying to make a change, this is not who I'm going after. If I was a fat activist who wanted to have an impact, this is not who I'm going after. However, if I was a fat activist who wanted to make headlines, this is exactly who I'm going after. Can we call bullshit? Can we call bullshit? Nobody who's trying to champion fat activism is going can we all just stop being performative and be honest? Let me hit play.
I'm not gonna apologize though, because y'all fucking sensitive and wanna cry
This has been her stance for 7 years. I'm not gonna apologize
about some dumb shit. Every day y'all wanna cry about some fucking dumb shit. Shit, I'm gonna cry every single time I wear a fucking leotard, because every time I wear a leotard, y'all want to talk about my hips and my ass.
Somebody
Okay,
said,
like it's
I love how your accent goes English when you ask questions. Does it? That's actually funny. So basically, Cardi B spent a good amount of time saying, hey guys, fuck y'all. And it's been a fuck y'all since day one. And those who rock with me like me saying fuck y'all. And those who don't like me saying fuck y'all, then just don't come to my page. Do I agree with what Cardi B said? Absolutely not. Somebody said, you don't hear it, nothing's playing. Do I agree with Cardi B? Oh, the accent? Yeah, I don't. Child, who knows? Maybe. I was an Anglophile growing up. So here's the thing. I don't have to agree with Cardi B to understand that going after Cardi B is performative. Right? So let's see what Samira said. So at this point, Samira's not involved, guys. Samira isn't a Cardi B fan. I don't think she was on the live. Samira is someone who heard about this and said, aha, Cardi B is popping. She's going at court case. She's dating Stephon Diggs. She might be pregnant again. She's trending. She's trending. This is exactly what I'm going to make my next video about. And look what Samira said.
cry, okay?
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they.
True.
But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fat phobia.
Y'all, she went on TikTok and made a video of her going to the library, to the bookstore to buy books for Cardi B. And then got on TikTok again and used her Maya Angelou, Frederick Douglass voice. And y'all still telling me this is not performative? You guys, when I'm talking about something serious, have you noticed this about my voice? I am a very jovial, giggly, fun person. When I'm talking about something serious, I try my best to be as deadpan as possible because I don't want to be performative and I want the words and the value of the words to be weighed more than whatever performance I could be putting on. Right? Oh, thank you. I love you too, my love. I'm so intentional that when I'm talking about something serious that I'm not doing the ha ha he he. Like, hey guys, this is something serious and you can opt in or opt out, but I want you to understand. Somebody said that, you noticed that, right? I am the opposite of performative. I'm also autistic, so there's that. So when I'm saying something that I sincerely mean, I don't want to put on a performance. If I feel like I want to cry, I try my best to hold it back. I don't want to do theater. I want to have an impact, right? And so there's a self-righteousness that can unintentionally sneak into your voice when you are someone who likes to speak truth to power, that people like me work really hard to pull back on. Samira hits the gas. She hits the gas on the self-righteousness in a way that feels like Glee Club. Like she's a theater kid.
It is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked.
We can barely read the titles. You have to pause it just to even read the books. Why are you buying the books if you're just going to pull them out? Now let's read the titles. Yo, everything about this scream, this is a performance.
About, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy.
Did she say you is good, you is smart, you is important to Cardi B? About saying, damn, I made 3 X's and I didn't know and so many of you fat bitches love me. I guess I gotta make more. You're doing all this because she says she has to make more 3X t-shirts for her fan base?
That your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans.
What? No, honey, that was part of the joke. She knew she had fat fans before this. You was good, you was kind, you was, girl, what is happening? Remember how I said that when I first saw somebody? I was like, oh, I want to be her friend. Yeah, this is the moment I was like, I don't want to be her friend. I don't want to be her friend.
But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fat phobia and standing up for them.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. Okay, that was inappropriate. I'm sorry. Okay. I forgot that was Cardi's response. See, nobody's perfect, okay? Inappropriate. I'm being inappropriate, but I'm gonna be honest. I think because for someone to do a 5-minute Maya Angelou impersonation and the response is, girl, shut the fuck up. I lived in the Bronx for 3 years, so maybe the Bronx in me is why. Cardi B is ignorant, always been ignorant. Cardi had the right, whether you think she had the right response or not, Cardi is funny and ignorant simultaneously. So I'm laughing. Okay, I'm just gonna hit play.
Ah, damn, shut up already. Like, it's not that serious. Not everything is revolutionary. Not everything has to have a crazy outrage. I already did a video. I told you it's not that serious. Like, what do you want me to do? Get on my fucking knees and apologize? I'm not apologizing for a fucking jokey joke. That it wasn't even about you. It was something about me and my fans. Like, that's it. I don't care. I'm not apologizing. I'm not getting on my knees. No, I'm not reading a book. No, I'm not nothing. You see, like, sometimes when people are being genuine, y'all don't like when people are being genuine. Because I
think, here's the thing. I don't think Cardi's being genuine. I think Cardi's being ignorant, and you know Cardi's ignorant. So my thing is, Samira, what did you think was going to happen when someone who for 7 years has gone around and saying, I'm not going to back away from being ignorant, and their entire brand since the day that she became known by us is ignorance? What did you sincerely think was going to happen from going after Cardi B? Because here's the thing that I'm going to see. Samira made excellent points and she weaponized them to instigate someone. What did y'all write in the comments? We all knew this was going to be Cardi's response. We all knew this was going to be Cardi's response. Somebody said she sounds like people telling Black people that they can't take a racist joke. Here's the thing, guys. You can think she sounds like that, but that's not who you go after. Over a 3 out of 10 on the offensive scale. So again, at this point, Cardi is problematic and being Cardi. Nobody's surprised. Samira is being self-righteous and being self-righteous. Nobody is surprised. I thought it was going to end here. And if it had ended here, we would not be watching this video today. But it continued.
genuinely did a video like, hey, it's not that serious. I make fun of everybody. I even make fun of myself. I don't really care if you skinny, if you big, if you that, you this. I always use anybody as the butt of the joke, like all the time.
This is when I started to get confused. After Cardi B said, I'm not going to take the shit back, that would have been the end of it. You, as an activist, up until this point, Samira was obnoxious but not wrong in my eyes. So far, Samira's not wrong. I find her delivery condescending and obnoxious and kind of cringe, but she wasn't wrong. Until her mother gets on TikTok and starts sobbing. And this is when I leaned in like, wait, did I miss something?
To my daughter, Samira. I came from an event, and to see how being bullied and treated online really hurt me. I'm so sorry. The world was so cool. I love you. Were perfect to me. And you deserve a lot of respect. Mommy loves you and always on being your biggest defender and your biggest protector.
And I spoke about.
So this is the part where I was like, now hold on. Cardi was talking to a couple hundred fans on social media. She called them fat and they laughed. And the ones who didn't find it funny said, hey, it's not funny. Everybody's valid. Cardi comes out and says, yeah, it wasn't funny to you, but most of my day ones know it's how I talk. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Valid response. Samira sees this trending and jumps in and says, I rise. You must buy this book and this book and this book. A little cringe, but she made a beautiful point despite having a cringe delivery. At this point, I'm thinking this is just a nuisance. But then why is your mama crying? So when I saw Samara's mama crying, that's what I said. Oh, you said the same thing I said. What the hell? I said, nah, bruh. No, your mother's a pretty AKA in her green and pink kiwi. Like, I love that. I love AKAs, by the way. Some of my best friends growing up were AKAs. So I'm thinking, why do you have this beautiful Sora sobbing in her car? What did I miss? Now, at this point, something niggled in the back of my brain. You guys know that one of the things I talk about being neurodivergence is pattern recognition. I was like, Blue, why is this bothering you? Because sometimes when something's bothering me in the back of my mind, somebody said, dang, now it's not fun. Yeah, when her mama starts crying, it stops being fun. Now I feel like an asshole for laughing at how silly this was because her mama's crying. So I was like, Blue, what's niggling you about this? Why aren't you? Because usually if I see somebody's mother crying, I'm going to be like, Cardi, that's fucked up. You must have did something, right? Somebody said Cardi's hopped on her page and got ugly. Yes, but, not and, but. You guys, last year, Samira sent a hate mob to a fat girl. The reason why I was like, why does her mother crying irk my nerves so bad? And why is it niggling something in the back of my memory? Last year, Samira spent weeks bullying a fat girl, making fun of how she looked. And sent her mob after her. Now I said, now hold on. Nah, it can't be the same Samira. Nah, bitch. The same girl who made fun of another fat girl and had an angry mob go after her can't be the one who, now that Cardi B has done the same thing to her, has her mother crying. No, that can't be it. That can't be it. So I did some research, and a young lady named Michelle McDaniels, who I think is funny but problematic. So Michelle is not somebody that I always agree with. In fact, I think she is actually fat phobic. But here's the thing, guys. It always sucks when a broken clock is right twice a day. It sucks when somebody that you don't rock with and don't agree with is making a bunch of valid points, and the person that you're supposed to agree with is an asshole. Right? So I was like, no, wait. Your mother's crying that what you did to the other girl last year is happening. No, that can't be it. Because if that was it, that would make you a hypocrite. It would make you a clout chaser. It would make you everything but an activist. Somebody said here, she knows Cardi will need to explain herself. Exactly. Jason's constantly, let me not say what Jason said. Cardi's been told by her friends, hey, stop responding. And everybody knows that Cardi's going to respond. So to bait Cardi means that you know she's going to respond. Somebody said, yes, Michelle McDaniel is very fat phobic. So when I was doing research, I hate to say it, Michelle McDaniel's fat phobia is what actually inspired her to dredge up the receipts that I was looking for. And now I find myself in a conundrum. And I said to myself, Blue, how do you approach this? The person who you're supposed to be on the side of is a hypocrite. And the person who has the receipts is problematic. But hold on. If everybody in the scenario is problematic and the receipts are completely sound and the receipts have been vetted, I remember there was one time like last year, Candace Owens made a valid point and everybody was like, fuck, we hate that we have to agree with Candace Owens. This is a valid point. You guys, I'm telling you this right now. Michelle McDaniels is a woman who comes from a family of big people, lost a lot of weight, became really into fitness, and is convinced that all fat people have to do is work out and eat correctly and they'll lose weight. I just told you earlier that I eat like a bird and walk 10,000 steps a day, but because I have an anxiety disorder, I hold on to weight due to stress. I'm a living example of why Michelle's rhetoric is not true, right? There are some people who don't want to admit that PCOS, endometriosis, insulin resistance, cortisol levels, trauma, there's all hormonal imbalance. There are dozens of medical reasons why you can eat healthy and work out and still not lose weight. I'm living proof, right? So it hurts me that Michelle was the person who pulled up the receipts, but she did. So what I did is, guys, I spent an hour yesterday cutting out all the problematic shit that could be harmful out of Michelle's video and just left the receipts. Okay, so let's watch the receipts of why I think Samira, despite being brilliant, beautiful, and talented, is a performative activist. And I gotta be honest, Michelle, I don't always rock with you, but you did your big one with these receipts. So let's watch the video. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Guys, this goes to show, guys, what do I always say? My allegiance is to the truth wherever I might find it. This is a perfect example of how I'm willing to tell the truth, even if I find it someplace that I don't want to find it. Somebody said, run the tapes. Okay, fine, I'm going to run the tapes. I just wanted to give a disclaimer because if anybody knows who Michelle is, I don't want them to think that me using her clips means that I agree with her as a person. Okay? Let's get into it. Let's see what Michelle drugged up about Samira.
I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too.
Here's a cupcake.
You know those influencers that demand apologies? They get on their channel with the look of disappointment, crossing their arms, shaking their head. They do a 1 to 2 minute explaining why they were a fan until you hurt my feelings with something that had nothing to do with me, but I'm gonna make it about me. Apologize. And then they end their speech with a, I'm disappointed.
Is that not what just happened in the video? Again, I do think that Michelle is fatphobic, but did she not bar for bar outline what we just watched Samira do? Do y'all want me to play it back, or was that clear to you? It's so painful that I'm using her as a source. So Michelle is right. I'm gonna play it one more time. Actually, I'm gonna play it one more time for those who were distracted.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too.
Here's a cupcake.
You know those influencers that demand apologies? They get on their channel with the look of disappointment, crossing their arms, shaking their head. They do a 1 to 2 minute explaining why they were a fan until you hurt my feelings with something that had nothing to do with me, but I'm gonna make it about me. Apologize. And then they end their speech with a, I'm disappointed. As if they are your mommy. Well, today we are talking about an influencer who has built their entire brand on being unapologetically fierce and a loud voice for fat rights. She's known for walking into clothing stores, grabbing outfits that clearly aren't her size, publicly calling out brands and individuals she feels are being fatphobic or not inclusive enough.
We are in the fitting room at Gap, trying on the larger size in the Gap base collection, which is an extra large.
And when she speaks, her followers move. They flood the comment section, spam the DMs, demand apologies, often getting exactly that from whoever is on the receiving end. But recently, things didn't go quite as planned. It was quite embarrassing. This time, this influencer aimed her outrage at the wrong person.
She did aim it at the wrong. Well, that's my cleaning lady. Just finished stepping out of the restroom. Okay, cool. You guys, I have a surprise coming for you on Tarot Tuesday. So my cleaning lady has been working in the backyard. I got this before you guys think I'm rich. I got this house at a discount during the pandemic, and I have a shed that is an apothecary. For anybody who knows what an apothecary is, look it up. And so she's been cleaning out my apothecary because I have some stuff that I plan to be bringing to y'all starting Tuesday. So I'm excited about that. But she just told me she's done cleaning, so that's perfect. So far, I hate to say it, Michelle's right. And you guys, I cut out all the places where Michelle was wrong and harmful. So she's going to be right for most of this video.
Celebrity with a massive following, bigger than hers, who wasn't about to bend, apologize, or play along with the usual script. The exchange was quick, brutal, swift, and ended with the influencer not getting the victory lap that she's used to. Today we're talking about Samira and the drama she started that she couldn't finish. This video is sponsored by you. All I ask.
Oop, hold on. I'm gonna take the video down for a quick second. That's the raw cut. I do not want y'all to see the raw cut. I want y'all to see the it's safe because Michelle's not hateful cut. So give me a second. Oh, I must not have uploaded any of the. All right, so let me. And guys, here's the thing. Why I'm doing this, why I refuse to play Michelle's cut is because Michelle actually is fat phobic. And so I want to make sure that the version that I'm sharing with you. Oh no, this is gonna take a while to upload. Let's see. I want to make sure that the version that I'm sharing with you is not going to cause further harm. Hold on. I thought I already uploaded it. Damn. There we 52 minutes. Where's the... There we go. Here's the version. All right. I'm going to send it to myself right now. I'm so happy that I caught that in time. Because Michelle... Again, Michelle's also brilliant. This is a perfect example of how people being brilliant doesn't mean they're safe. And that's why a lot of times people are like, Blue, you're so smart. I'm like, there's a lot of smart people on the internet. That's not what makes me special. The internet is full of smart people. I think what makes me special. Thank you, Daisy. You too. Did you close the gate on the shed? But is everything inside? Okay, and the gate is closed? Okay, perfect. I'll text you about coming back. I appreciate you. I sent your payment already. Oh, this is going to take a while to upload. Darn. I didn't realize how heavy this video is. Let me see if I already have it uploaded. Hold on. Let's see. It's the 40. Thank you guys for your patience. I refuse to play the full version. I refuse to play the full version. I'm not going to do that to y'all. Desktop. All right, it's going to take a couple of minutes. I should have, if I had known, I would have. I will say this. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to upload, somebody said, thank you for this. The woman done made this intro. What does it say? Hold on, let me read this real quick while this is uploading. Thank you. This woman done made this interesting because I was confused at how Big Mama felt her getting people all rah-rah at Cardi was right. Here's the thing. I don't know if you're calling her Big Mama to be fat phobic, but this is still a body positive space. I will say this, though. I don't think, for me, the word fat is not something that can harm me because I've made peace with my body. And if I'm technically fat, I'm technically fat. It's something that I'm at peace with. And I said this before for those who came in late, I also recognize the impact that the word fat can have on those who are at different places in their journey. So this is not about me saying, oh, Cardi B called you fat over a t-shirt, get over it. It's about me saying, taking issue with Cardi B and what she said is valid, but turning it into a moment for you to clout chase, hiding behind fat people, when I can literally remember when you sent an angry mob over a fat girl and made her cry and made fun of her appearance just a year ago is where I take contention. Does that make sense, guys? It's the hypocrisy and the disingenuous weaponizing of a valid point that makes it performative activism. Am I being clear about this? Because I want to make sure that y'all don't just think that I'm a fat girl who makes fun of other fat girls. That's not that. I'm a healed, big-bodied woman who can take a joke personally, who doesn't expect everybody else to take the same jokes that I do. We're all offended by different things. So just because I can take this joke doesn't mean you have to take this joke. And who thinks something that could have validly caused a minor a bit of discomfort has now exploded into your mama crying. Because again, guys, we're only doing this video today because her mama, her beautiful mama dressed in her AKA finest, because I keep on have to say, the AKAs are focused on being beautiful, being poised. They're great with business. They're civically engaged to give back to the community. For you to have your mother dress in pink and green, therefore she's signaling to us that we need to take her serious as a soror over this shit? Sorry, my voice just went up. For you to use your mother's beauty and brilliance and civic engagement for this, of all things? really respect it. Her pretty mama, her mama is real pretty. Her mother is real pretty. Somebody said, I'll read some comments because the video's done. Oh, the video is done, but I'm still going to read some comments real quick. Let me see. Let me make sure this is not the harmful version. All right, I'm going to put in this not harmful. Not harmful, Michelle. It's probably the only time I'm going to write that about Michelle. All right. The comment says, thank you. I used to watch Michelle a lot, but she used to put me in a negative headspace. Yeah. And she'll be right, but has a lot of fatphobic sentiments, can be narrow-minded and harsh sometimes. Yes. She said some really nasty things in this video that I do not think anybody on my page who comes to be safe while still being pushed compassionately needs to be subjected to. All right. So here is the safe version, the heavily edited version of Michelle making valid points where I cut out all her fatphobic rhetoric. Okay. There we go.
Disney, and other things too.
And ended with the influencer not getting the victory lap that she's used to. Today we're talking about Samira and the drama she started that she couldn't finish.
Here's a cupcake.
Like most people on TikTok, they didn't start doing the thing that made them popular, and Samira was absolutely no different than.
This is the tea. I love Michelle editing too. This is the thing that I was going to spend all yesterday editing until I realized Michelle had literally, it was when Michelle had the same thoughts. The receipts that I was going to look for, she found them. So I'm not a hater, bro. Even if I don't like somebody personally or I find them problematic, I'm going to always give credit where it's due begrudgingly. Okay?
Anyone else. She was just a lone TikToker finding her way that happened to be plus size. She would talk about chicken nuggets. Can't have dry chicken nuggets. She would do the whole TikTok lip syncing thing.
You know, no tea, no shade.
And of course, dancing. Mostly, she would sing.
She has a beautiful voice. So this girl is pretty. She got body. She can sing. She went to heart. Like, girl, you didn't have to clout chase. You could have.
And talk about how extremely educated she is as she graduated from Harvard University. Now these videos, as cute as they were, wouldn't get as much traction, usually under 10,000 views.
You guys on TikTok, 10,000 views is like $3. I got 2.6 million views on a video and only got 3 figures. I'll just put it that way. Okay. TikTok pays you pennies on the dollar. It is slave labor. That's why everybody's dancing for their fucking lives every 5 minutes, because you got to pay your rent. So 10,000 views. Mind you, she was making videos that I would have watched, but they weren't making her viral. Somebody said, I love how thoughtful, hold on. You love how thoughtful Blue is about what she shares on the channel. Oh, thank you, my love. Also, I think
But if you stay on the internet long enough and push hard enough, people will start to notice you and you will get your first troll comments. And Samira did. Someone made the assumption that she only got into Harvard because she black, where Samira would respond.
You can't only get into Harvard because you're black. Respectfully.
And show all of her accomplishments, like being the first girl on her high school football team, along with a singer, a Louisiana governor working with, I don't know, was she a governor? And I'm not too sure. She worked with the Louisiana government people. And lastly, that she is incredibly smart. And that was a great call out, but something that she would notice is that the drama is what gets the views, and she would start responding to hate comments on her videos, where sometimes she would sing Disney songs and request Disney put her in a movie, as she would be a great lead actress.
This is the first time I ever saw her was when she was telling Disney that she should be a plus-size Tiana. I thought she was so cute.
Settle this right now. I should play Princess Tiana.
You know, so they can get called woke again and have another failed live-action movie. I didn't know Disney made movies about fat bed wenches.
You know what, sis? You are absolutely right. Disney Channel doesn't make shows about fat bed wenches, but they should. It's definitely time for places like Disney, and other things to start normalizing fat bodies, fat characters, and not as like motherly figures or hypersexual, just as normal people doing normal things.
This did it. This got people fired up and the views would skyrocket. She was educated, obese, black, a woman who clapped back in a very demure way to hateful comments, and she...
Someone said she's very intelligent, but body is... Have you seen her ass? That's body. There are men in this world who don't care if you're built like a fridge. If you have a fat ass, they call that body. I know what I said. Somebody... Go to Jamaica or Nigeria. That's body, babe. I promise you that's body.
She quickly became that girl who stood up for plus size people, stood up against the bullies, and she was love.
I'm on my lunch break, but y'all do realize that I wouldn't have to talk about being fat all the time
if you lost weight.
Fat people weren't oppressed.
Oh. Well, all in all, she would increase her videos about fat liberation and remind the people that would critique her for having most of her profile center around being fat.
Sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes.
And protecting fat people. That it's a huge privilege for them not to have to talk about fat phobia like she has to.
It's a privilege to not have to talk about it. It's a privilege to not have to care about it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep making content about being fat until there's fat liberation.
Samira had found her niche, you know, that thing, her field on TikTok where she would thrive and quickly become an icon in
I think she's adorable.
What do you guys call it? The fat space. She was doing a service to the fat people.
And it's cool to kaka kiki cuckoo on this app, but also if you got a platform, you gotta use it. I'll be damned if I don't talk about shit that matters.
Through the years, Samira would go viral for many things, like saying,
All I'm gonna say is, bad bitches get belt extenders on the plane.
And she would
fat bitches get belt extended on a plane. Look, when I had gained that 70 pounds 5 years ago after my aunt passed, getting an extender on a plane was really embarrassing because I've been a big girl my whole life. But when you're a big girl your whole life and you're walking around in a size 16 and you have a small waist and big titties and the wide hips, there's a whole genre of people who think that shit is popping, right? But then when you gain 70 pounds on top of the size 16, I was like, wait, I have to get an extender, and it fucked with me. So I really did appreciate that Samira was taking the stigma out of being in that position. So I'm saying this is not about me dragging Samira. This is about me tracking how her valid activism turned into clout chasing, because a lot of people are in the same space where they're starting for noble reasons, and without realizing it, they become obnoxious clout chasers.
Constantly go on airplanes, ask for a seatbelt extender to help her plus size watchers feel more comfortable being that fat person on an airplane asking for a seatbelt extender and not being embarrassed.
Excuse me? Can I get a belt extender?
Oh, thank you. You know, usually she's very, you know, the voice switch up is just a little amazing. It reminds me of Gypsy Rose when she like switches her voices.
Know how to handle my emotions. Everyone, happy New Year's Eve.
But Samira knew that the rage type content is what would get the most views. So while on the plane, she would also post,
if it's one thing I'ma do, it's spread my legs so wide so nobody sitting next to me on the plane.
That's obnoxious. People already bought their ticket. They have to sit next to you regardless of how wide your legs are. Somebody said, can we drag this Michelle person instead? We are not dragging anybody. We're pointing out everybody's flaws. Samira has flaws and Michelle has flaws. We're not going to pick sides. We're going to follow the truth. And so if the truth says Samira sucks sometimes, she sucks sometimes. If the truth says Michelle sucks sometimes, she sucks sometimes. Everybody's a flawed human, but nobody's getting dragged.
They be afraid of these hips.
No, Samira. People just don't want a random person's body touching them, fat or not. As you can see, her foot is leaking into the passenger's foot space, and this thigh spread airplane video would get Samira over 500,000 views, and very angry people telling her to just buy a second seat, you.
Yes, guys, Michelle, if this is the safe version, this is the safe version. For those who asked how many minutes did I cut out 15 minutes problematic. But these receipts are all valid. I vetted them all.
And she loved it. That's right. She got bit by the content bug.
Did I just wake up to 400,000 of y'all?
You guys think about this. Samira was doing content that was fun and cute and engaging and getting on average 10K on TikTok, which is pennies on the dollar. She posts a video of her legs spread wide in the name of fat acceptance. Spatial awareness is not about fat acceptance. It's one thing if you are someone who is a certain size and you naturally spread over, but to intentionally spread your legs as wide as possible and put your foot in someone else's seat is not about fatness, it's about being obnoxious. She did something that had nothing to do with fat acceptance and literally caused more harm, because people who think fat people are obnoxious and will spill with no regard now have somebody to point to. Thank you. It gives bully. So this was the moment where I was like, wait a minute, you did something really fucked up and obnoxious under the guise of fat acceptance, and it went viral, and you woke up to 500,000 views. Do y'all see the moment where it goes from valid to turning a corner? You did something that does not do anything to advance fat people and woke up to 500,000 views while feeding into stereotypes about how obnoxious fat people are. And now that's about to become your brand. So for the person who said, can we drag Michelle instead? Everybody's getting dragged accordingly.
In order to celebrate, we're gonna go to Starbucks.
But let me not act like I don't go to Starbucks every day.
You don't have to act. We wouldn't be surprised if you do. Most of America does. But she was happy and made sure to welcome anyone that found her.
You finally found the best side of TikTok.
But like many fat creators, you have to expand your waistline and your ideas. You don't want these people thinking you're trying to become the thin. And you gotta keep your watchers interested, and that can be incredibly difficult if you only have one niche, right? Calling people out in your comment section and asking for a seatbelt extender on an airplane. It can get a little boring. She needed something different, something new, something fresh, something dramatic, something else to call out, and that would be clothing stores.
This is when she got really...
Samira would start expanding her content to help her plus size followers and start trying on clothes for them. It wasn't so people can put gas up her butt cheek.
Let's do an Old Navy haul, y'all. Peekaboo.
And these were cute, right? I love try on hauls. Even if it's not my body type, I just like to see how it's gonna look. Samira's were so fun. I think they were helpful and super positive.
Once again, plus size shopping tends to be a little bit difficult, but here are some of the stores that make it easier.
But fun, positive, and helpful does not get the view. How many times do I have to tell you? 751 likes, that's nothing. You know what will give you something? Drama, calling out things, being very emotional in your videos. Samira would quickly elevate her clothing content and venture to the store and call out clothing brands for not having big enough clothing for her plus size subscribers.
If I wrote something. Please, the buttons is popping.
As a big girl, you knew that wasn't going to fit you when you grabbed it. Quick question, guys. I'm going to ask a question for real. How does it serve plus size people to intentionally get a medium when you're a double XL and watch us try it on? How does it positively impact plus size people, our supporters and our critics, for you to just go on grabbing schmediums? Who does that help? How does that help? I'm being so sincere. As somebody who spends 80% of my time trying to figure out ways to be a good example for myself and the people that I love, as someone who has worked in education and has educated people for 2 decades now, right? 2003 to 22 years. So this month, oh shit, it's my anniversary. This month is my 22-year anniversary of being a curriculum developer. Explain to me, like I'm 5, how you grabbing a schmedium as a double or triple XL advances people. Now, here's the thing. This is just for entertainment. This is not activism. And if she acted like this was just entertainment, I would not be a hater, because people do things that are performative for entertainment reasons. I live in LA. Do you know how much of a hypocrite I would be if things being performative and entertaining was a reason for me to call them bullshit? So this is not about her being entertaining. It's about her doing performative, entertaining antics and somehow convincing herself that she is the Maya Angelou of fat bitches. That's where I get confused.
Remember, she's doing this for them, not herself.
TJ Maxx, do you want plus sizes to sell? Now, I went through both racks, again, 2 racks, and I counted the number of plus size pants that they offered at this location. And that number is 56. It's also important to recognize that the majority of these bottoms are sizes 1X, 2X, or 4.
The person who says valid, however, I will say these sizes in stores are so inconsistent. No, honey, she will literally say, they don't sell my size here at all, and I'm still going to go there and grab a large or a medium. She literally says it. So yes, this is valid. If that was her point, we would not have a point of contention. Her mantra is literally, I don't care if it's my size, I'm still going to try it on. Intellectually, I don't understand that stance. So yes, her trying on a double XL one place and it being too small somewhere else is one thing. I'm not being hyperbolic. She literally goes to stores and grabs larges and mediums. I'm not exaggerating, guys.
14 wide, 16 wide, 18 wide, 20 wide.
And those 751 likes from her inner house positive, happy-go-lucky clothing hauls would soon turn into 75,000 likes when she would go into stores and complain that they didn't have the size that would fit her. So this whole waltzing into stores, complaining about not having clothes that can fit her, turned into waltzing into stores that have clothes that can fit her, but it's not cute enough for her.
This can't be what y'all think big people want to wear. Can't be. Girl, can't be.
Valid point. There be some ugly shit in the big girl section. Ugly shit that only your grandma, when she can't see well and has glaucoma, would even try on.
Was a hit. Samira would quickly become the girl that goes to stores looking for clothes that was big enough for her ass. And when they didn't have it, honey, she gave them a TikTok ass whooping. No one was above the Samira call out. Target? No.
Y'all, Target has lost their last mind. Go up a size or 2 in your moto jacket for an easy, effortlessly cool vibe. Go up a size or 2 from an XXL. Yeah, y'all done lost y'all last mind. Target, let me give you a style tip. If you're gonna so inconsiderately suggest that people go up a size or 2, at least have the sizes. And not just online, also in store. Now, I don't know who told y'all that was a good idea, but y'all need to either fix that sign or fix your sizes. Hopefully both.
The sign said go up a size or 2 if you want a more casual look. If you don't want a more casual look, then just get your regular size. Also, guys, the sizes have to stop somewhere. If Target says go up a size or 2 and they stop at a 2X, that means somebody who wants to have a baggy fit at an X large is the top of that, right? If it goes to a 4X, that means whoever is a 4X can't go up a size or 2. Somewhere the sizes have to stop. That's why they're suggesting go up a size or 2 if you want a baggier look. If you want a regular look, just get your regular size. And it's Target. And they sell the 4X online, and it sucks that it's selling online, but they sell it online because it's not selling in the store.
Old Navy, not at all.
Not only is Old Navy not cool, in 2021, they pulled one of the biggest scams in plus size history.
Samira would recall the best day of her life, going to Old Navy with her grandma.
My grandma, who had also never been able to shop for her size in any store, also wanted to see the fashion revolution that Old Navy was talking about all over television.
She was so ecstatic, finally she can walk into a clothing store and get something that would actually fit her.
And it truly was a revolution. In store, every rack, every style, and every size. It was definitely a cause for celebration.
So color Samira surprised after her and her grandma spent so much money on a inclusive clothing store that would fit her booty cheeks, only to find out that it was all a scam.
The dream quickly turned to a nightmare. Everything gone. And who's to blame?
Wait, why is there a voiceover from Eve's Bayou? What's happening? My dreams were dashed and gone. Why were your dreams dashed and gone, Samira? What happened?
The plus size customers, apparently. They said
that was her idea of a scam, is that Old Navy stopped selling 4Xs because nobody bought them. That's...
She did a Feed the Children voiceover because the 4Xs weren't selling, and so they stopped selling them because they weren't selling?
That's the scam.
There wasn't enough demand.
Looks like she learned the first rule of, I don't know, business. If something doesn't sell, you stop selling it. It's kind of similar to TikTok views. You know, she used to post about barbecue sauce and not having dry chicken nuggets, and now she posts this kind of stuff because that gets more views.
Lululemon need to count their days.
Same thing. Samira likes doing this method that I call, I already know the answer, but I want content, and she will go into the stores that she knows does not have her size at all. It's only online. She'll change her voice and ask the employees where those clothes are when she knows they're online.
I'm telling you, when you play the sped up version, the song is a fucking... I'm gonna listen to that song when this video is over.
And then she looks surprised when they give her the answer that she already knows.
Pardon? I was looking to find these pants in a 26 and these items in a 3X.
26 is?
Yeah.
No, we have them online.
Oh.
There was no need.
Thank you. She's Harvard educated and acting like she can't... That's the part that's fucking with me is you told us you were Harvard educated and summa cum laude and had a 3.67 GPA, but you don't understand supply and demand in America? Do y'all see why I agree with her points and still find her incredibly obnoxious and performative and disingenuous? Do y'all see what I'm saying? The points are valid. The delivery is oh man. It's giving Tyler Perry.
For that face.
Yeah.
I thought Old Navy had all the plus sizes in store.
She knew the answer, but look at this performance.
No, we don't have the jerks either.
And for the person who says they feel her pain, I feel her pain too. But I promise you that when you feel her pain, you're not doing the Maya Angelou voice. Again, valid points, performative delivery.
Oh, Navy, I'm gonna cry.
So after she was done with her performance, she would go home and she would get mad. No. She would get angry. No, living places like Disney.
Oh shit! I accidentally
brought her to tears.
Hold on, I accidentally sort of ahead. So what? Here's the thing that I want you guys not to miss. Samira knew that the store only sold her size online. Went to the store and asked for it, despite knowing that they didn't have it, so she could film herself looking disappointed. Can anybody here relate to that? If my tism is making me sound sarcastic, I apologize. No, can anybody here relate to being a size 4X, knowing they don't carry your size, and still going to the store to tape yourself look sad about what you already knew? Because here's the thing I know about being a big bitch most of my life. We do research because we don't have the luxury. Every plus size girl I know, we do research ahead of time to find out who has and doesn't have our size so that we don't waste our time and break our own hearts.
Or higher.
Well, Navy, are we a joke to you?
Oh, now she decides to get mad at Old Navy because Old Navy has now come out with voting t-shirts, and she was mad the voting t-shirts didn't come in her size because now she can't vote because they don't have her t-shirt.
Are your plus size customers a joke to you? You made these shirts for this demonstration that the CFDA and Vogue are putting on. Fashion for our future. And they stop at an XXL. They don't even come in plus sizes.
For the person saying, but the stores don't say the sizes were only on the signs. Honey, you don't think Samira looks it up? Samira literally wrote a song about how she hates how all the stores tell her she has to shop online. She has a song available on iTunes about having to go online. She knows. She knows. I love, and I want to post the comments of y'all caping for her because I want to give you guys a chance to have some critical thinking. She wrote a song over a year ago that went viral about hating the fact that she has to go online to get her size. I promise you she did not walk into the store not knowing that. I promise you. I can't play along with the facade. I can't.
But you continuously want to center plus size bodies in your marketing and not in your stores. Use this in your advertising, use this in your mission statements, and continue to intentionally exclude us from every single aspect of fashion when it matters most.
This sounds like a campaign video. It sounds like she's running for president. I'm being so serious. And this is not her running for president. This is her being upset that she can't wear a shirt that says vote. And for some reason, she's saying, do y'all not think that we belong in democracy because we can't wear shirts that say vote? Let me put myself. Do y'all think that fat people cannot take part in democracy because we can't buy a t-shirt at Old Navy that says vote? Because fat people can't vote unless they... Guys, as someone who believes in sincere activism and impact, as someone who can sometimes be the killjoy at the function when I mention that something is problematic and nasty and mean-spirited, I'm supposed to be who is subscribing to this, and instead, my bullshit alarm keeps going off. What does Old Navy not selling a vote t-shirt and a 4X have to do with us taking part in democracy? Oh, bon Dieu. I'm gonna hit play. Let the go talk.
Talking about voting. Are we too big to vote now?
Okay, you know what, girly pop? You went to Harvard, so you know you don't have to wear a shirt that says vote on it to go vote. She knows that. Y'all know that. I know that. Why? This is a little dramatic. But you know, she was so passionate about this that not only did her speech move her followers watching, it moved herself. Okay, her words got to her. It brought her to tears.
Like what they have to offer doesn't matter.
What we have to offer doesn't matter in democracy because we can't buy a cotton blend polyester t-shirt that says vote? Y'all don't make me laugh. I laugh at inappropriate shit. It is saying, are we too big to vote because the shirt don't say vote? Look at her face, y'all. No, seriously. Look at her face. Look at her face. Can y'all see my little mouse when I scroll? Look at her eyes. She's on the verge of tears. Not because of racial injustice, not because of George Floyd, not because a fat person was yanked off a plane for being obese and robbed of their dignity, because she cannot get a cotton polyester blend t-shirt that says the word vote in block letters in Times News Roman. She's crying because Old Navy won't sell her a shirt that says vote in a 4X. I'm so sorry. I'm not the audience for this.
As much as someone else just because they're bigger.
Oh, she's so passionate about this. She really cares about plus-size people fitting into a vote shirt because they can't cast their votes without it. Tears poured out from pure devotion for her plus-size community being hurt by Old Navy. What? Oh, she's an actress. She even has a video showing she can cry on.
So guys, I've been being nice to this point. I was doing my best to be like, Blue, the girl annoys the fuck out of you, but she's technically right, so be open-minded. And this is the video that I found that I realized that Michelle also had, and I was like, fuck, I think me and Michelle agree on something for once. I've seen this video. Somebody said they're trying not to laugh. You're supposed to laugh at a joke, and to me, this was like a joke. So I saw this video during my research a couple of days ago, and this is the video where her mother is the video that made me do research. The video Michelle's about to show you is the video that made me say, oh, you want some big bullshit. You want some big bullshit. Let's watch the video that actually made me see red.
On cue.
Good job, guys. If you need tissues, you know where those are at.
I'm going to play this again. I want you to watch the video. Hold on. Did I go too far back? Let me go far back.
Brought her to tears.
Like what they have to offer doesn't matter as much as someone else just because they're bigger.
Oh, she's so passionate about this. She really cares about plus-size people fitting into a vote shirt because they can't cast their votes without it. Tears poured out from pure devotion for her plus-size community being hurt by Old Navy. What? Oh, she's an actress. She even has a video showing she can cry on cue.
Good job, guys. If you need tissues, you know where those are at. If you need to walk around, go for it. If you just need a little second. Some people always question, what is that? Why are we doing this? Well,
not the little tongue at the end there. You know,
y'all. Y'all. Somebody said the optics of a thin woman doing this critique is not it. I agree. That's why I'm doing it. That's exactly why I'm speaking up, because it's problematic how Michelle is doing it. I'm speaking as the person who can actually speak on this. And that's the thing. I think too many times when people call out people, it's not people in their own community. As a fat girl, I am saying that I find her performative. Thank you for saying that, Gia. That's exactly why I'm speaking about it, because Michelle is not handling her with care. Michelle is taking valid points and being mean-spirited. Samira is taking valid points and being a clout chaser and about to be a bully further down this video. I am saying, as a plus-size woman who's been plus-size my entire fucking life, I can say, as an EQ coach as well, that everything about this feels manipulative. And I hate that I have to concede for once with someone who I usually find cringe. Again, even a broken clock can be right twice a day, right? It's 6:15 twice a day.
Always calls out clothing brands for being performative to their benefit.
I'm actually very sick of being disrespected. Even after my feedback in January, they still chose to move forward with a collection that not only didn't come in the...
Did you hear what she just said? She feels disrespected because Old Navy, the conglomerate that is Old Navy, decided to move forward with a collection despite her making a TikTok video telling them that they didn't have her approval. I want you guys to hear what I just said. She just posted a video that said that she feels disrespected that Old Navy, that's part of a conglomerate, didn't see her TikTok video and decide to completely change their entire rollout. Because who the fuck is she? Bruh, I have a long list of credentials, and I'm not a modest bitch, and even I can't back this one up. I usually love an audacious bitch, but this is just Delulu. This is not audacious. This is Delulu.
Size that I said I needed, but didn't
All right,
come
it's not
in
about Old Navy. It's about Walmart or Target. She's, by the way, guys, she's done this she's done it for Old Navy, Walmart, Target, every major brand that you can think of. She's made a video saying, "I'm giving you 12 minutes to fix this." Who are you? Who are you? Why does corporate need to do
single plus size at all? If you didn't care, then why would you reach out?
But she's been performing for years. She went to school for it, and she's doing it for her own benefit as well.
You love me. You really love me.
And she kept performing, baby. Okay, going to stores, calling them out. One of my favorites is her beef with Forever 21, where she went there and had to twerk in front of the store, go in and sing her song.
Why do I gotta get it in a mail?
And then ask the same question she's been asking for years.
Why can't I go to the store like everybody else?
But Samira has one of the worst cases of main character syndrome I have ever seen.
You guys, that jump was so seamless. I cut out 10 minutes of Michelle being problematic. You see how seamless it is? You can't even tell what I cut out. She had a whole skit here that...
And is under the impression that she single-handedly took down Forever 21 because she called them out for their lack of plus sizes.
She took credit for Forever 21 going bankrupt, y'all. She took credit for Forever 21. Yo, bruh. I'm a confident bitch, but even I find this breathtaking.
And that's why they failed.
Forever 21. Happy Fat Tuesday. Ha. You was trying to be Tuesday. Now you got yourself in a Tuesday. And for your headquarters, it's doomsday. Ooh, without them plus sizes, baby, you couldn't make no money. Took out them plus sizes because you was trying to be funny. Well, baby, ha ha he he. That's why your stores are closing. When all you had to do was make plus size clothing.
Huh?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the most recent ones that would go absolutely viral was her battle with Ari, and she did not hold back.
Ari, let's be real. I don't like you.
Once again, she would roll up to Ari knowing they don't have her size, but she would ask the employees anyway.
Extra large is crazy. Do you have any XXLs in these?
We typically don't carry that size in the store. I know sometimes you get them like as returns.
And instead of, leaving, she decided, you know what? Since you refuse to carry clothes that fit me, I will force them to fit me.
So we made it to the fitting room. To my left on the wall, there is a decal that says embrace everything about you. We'll see if these clothes embrace everything about me.
They didn't mean literally.
Samira.
I don't think it's going up anymore.
He busted the outfit, y'all.
Oh my God.
He broke the cloth.
Yeah.
Y'all, I am I'm an H cup. I'm a very big-breasted girl. There's a reason why most of my videos, you know what I'm saying? Because it gets distracting when I get nasty messages from dirty old men. I can't imagine myself as an H cup going to a store and trying to put on a C cup and bust the bra open and be like, "Oh, my bad, I broke your clothes." For content. Bruh. I feel so old watching this. I'm not the demo that thinks that this is active. This is not activism. Who is this serving other than your monetization count? Who in the fat community is being aided, uplifted, or empowered by you trying on a schmedium at Aerie and busting the pants?
Yeah, because you're not an XXL. You're a 4X, according to you, from what I'm understanding. And that means you're
1, 2, 3,
4 times bigger than what you have on your body right now. That's why none of the other clothes fit you correctly.
Hey, I gotta get out of this. Okay. What is that? Is that the seam? Wait a minute. It's tight. Well, that's just where it's gonna stop.
This is actually borderline buffoonery, guys. This actually feels like, instead of fat activism, that she's turning fat people into a punchline to monetize her page. Can I be honest? this is the point where for me, it actually becomes offensive as a fat person.
She did end up purchasing the pants that she ripped, not the other clothes though that she stretched out. But after she purchased the pants that she ripped, once again, she had some final words for Ari.
Ari, I hate you.
After this video, many people were telling Samira that she's entitled, the business owes her absolutely nothing.
The audience started, this is one of the videos where the audience was like, girl, this is actually kind of bad. Gia says, this is like a minstrel performance. Yes, I do not. Performative activism is deeply ironic because, here, I'm going to make sure that you guys can see me. The reason why performative activism is so ironic and harmful is because it often turns the group that you are pretending to champion into a punchline for personal gain. How did it go from you championing for them having extended sizes and restoring dignity to the people who need a seatbelt extender in the plane to now wearing clothes that you know are too small and ripping them to show the buffoonery of how big bitches rip clothes because we're just too silly to know what fits us? You're not helping big girls by doing this. You're not advancing or having a positive impact. What you are doing is going viral. You're cannibalizing your own people to go viral while telling them that you're empowering them. Somebody said, been saying that it's fetishism. Oh, well. Mm-hmm. How old is Samira? Too damn old. She graduated from college. She's too damn old to be doing this.
And if you know you don't fit into the clothes, why would you put it on? But no, Samira would accumulate a large fan base of people praising her for sticking it to companies that were not inclusive enough to fit those booty cheeks.
Couple of things to address here. Why do y'all think fat people are supposed to accept crumbs? Why do y'all think fat people are supposed to accept the bare minimum? We ask for 4X, 5X, 6X, and get XL, 2X, and 3X. If we're lucky. So yes, we have every right.
Who is she talking to like this? Who is she staring? Y'all. So you want to be the angry black mammy of fat liberation to corporate entities to shame them,
to be angry. We have every right to be upset, unfulfilled.
Is this a script? Why does it feel like she's reading a teleprompter? So Gia said, girl, Aries for tweens, those clothes are not for grown-ups. Why does it feel like she's reading a teleprompter and doing a self-tape? Somebody said TikTok psychosis. I'm not going to diagnose anybody, but
by the progress that brands are making in accommodating fat bodies.
You guys, I'm so happy you said I want her to stop yelling at me like this, because guess what? A lot of people agree. And a fellow big girl said, hey, I just came across this really loud activist on here who just seems like she's very angry. Not angry. I came across a really loud activist on here who's always screaming at her audience. And guess what Samira said? She said, you're racist because you're white. Being called an angry black woman is a microaggression. Yes. Someone calling you loud when you scream in every video. I don't think that lady was racist. I think her ears were ringing.
I don't want to be accommodated. I want to be included. I don't want to be an afterthought. I want to be top of mind. And we can expect that.
How she acts when she's more popular. Now here's the
get as much traction. Usually under a tiny.
Kept moving the thingy. My bad, y'all. So this is how she
that brands are making.
So she gets. Here's the thing, guys. She started off doing TikTok dances and trying on clothes. Nobody cared. She responded in the comments to somebody. People started to care a little bit. She spread her legs and didn't understand that she only paid for her seat. And it wasn't like she had a medical condition or her bigness caused it to spill over. She literally glorified intentionally taking up more space as a fat person to irritate people and further stem fat phobia, and went viral. Woke up to 400,000 views and then immediately decided, I'm going to become a rage baiter. That's what she does when she's the underdog. We're about to see what happens when she is actually the person in a position of power. Oh, the irony.
Accommodating fat bodies. I don't want to be accommodated. I want to be included. I don't want to be an afterthought. I want to be top of mind. And we can expect that.
Who's we? Okay.
One day, Samira would complain about Walmart and how their plus sizes seem to be not very organized.
Because I'm seeing plus, but I'm not seeing plus.
Samira, being the beholder of what stores do, would give them 2 days and she was gonna come back.
All right, Walmart, I gave y'all 48 hours to get.
You're giving Walmart 48 hours? Do you know you have 30 minutes? Wait. Y'all, because I was only cutting out the clips where Michelle was being problematic, there's some of these clips that I only saw a few seconds of before I moved on. I did not see. I forgot that this clip was included. Let me make this big. I keep making her big because I need you to understand how ridiculous this is. She stood in front of Walmart and asked to speak to a manager and said, "You have 48 hours." I'm sorry. If you find me problematic, it's okay. I'm okay thinking this is ridiculous. Walmart, the Jeff Bezos of gentrification. You gave them 48 hours. Barack Obama couldn't give Walmart 48 hours, but Samira could. Girl.
Get it together.
Well, this time, instead of skinny people getting on her about what is she gonna do, a fat black woman named Takara Comedy would comment. Girl.
Now here's the thing, and this is how I know Samira wouldn't like me. Me and this lady are built exactly the same. Apparently, as a 1X, I'm not fat enough to tell her that she might be cringe. Because when a 1X said, "Hey girl, you're doing a lot," it got ugly. Mind you,
They have plus sizes. God damn. What else you want them to do? And I'm asking a serious question. What exactly is your expectation when you walk into Walmart or Target and they don't accommodate your size? Where do you expect them to have plus size clothing in the store? I expect them to have plus sizes where they have the sign that says plus sizes. Just like I expect a comedian to actually be funny. But hey, not everything can live up to our expectations.
Wait, Maya Angelou, the one who's talking about fat liberation and how black people need dignity, is now telling somebody, "I expect comedians to be funny, but not everybody can live up to." You're being mean. I thought, thank you. 1X is plus size. How you gonna tell 1X she's not plus size just because you're bigger than her? Are we doing fat people oppression Olympics now? I have to be a 6X for you to count me as a plus size. Are you serious? She fights for fat liberation, which equates to fat dignity. And the minute another plus size woman says, "Hey, sis, I see your point, but you might be going about it a little bit rude," she immediately starts making fun of her. What happened to fat dignity? Are you the only fat person who deserves dignity, Maya Angelou?
I guess. And I can actually agree with Samira that things should be in place where they should be, but it's Walmart. Shall I get upset for pieces of clothing that were way too big that I found in my section?
Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Why are the extra tiny underwears in the
medium section?
Madison. All right, guys, we gotta stop doing those transitions. They're annoying to edit. So Takara would come back and she was a little confused because she was trying to be nice. And so she responded saying, "Oh, maybe you took this the wrong way." Girl, I asked a legitimate question as a plus size woman myself. Maybe you read my comment in the wrong tone. And that's a possibility since you don't know me. And that was it. Samira lost it. She would respond in a video insulting Takara's clothes.
Do not type at me in all caps and expect me not to clap back. And you are correct. I don't know you. But what I do know is that at every single show you do, you wear the same tired ass button down that you seemingly own in 5 different colors and just.
Wait. Wait, is the queen of retail fat acceptance making fun of a fat girl's clothes? What is happening? It's unfortunate you can't smoke weed on YouTube because I'm stressed. The queen, sorry, the queen of fat girl retail rights. Her first clap back in the video is you in the shirt that you bought in 5 colors. You wear the same shirt in 5 different colors. Is nobody else seeing the hypocrisy here? Are y'all seeing why I call this girl performative? I knew I was gonna have to take you on a journey. I knew people were gonna be like, damn, is Blue a fat black girl with internalized fat phobia? Why is she going after this beautiful Nola queen who's just standing up for our rights? This not cool. I knew y'all were gonna have that stance, right? That's why I took a slow journey with you about how I got here. Florence said, if I can't smoke, get an edible. Florence, this is why I fuck with you. You're making fun of people's clothes when your entire persona is doing jigaboo dances and schmediums in dressing rooms. You're making fun of people's clothes when your entire gimmick is trying on schmediums and ripping them. This is why I'm not a part of the body positivity movement. Mean big bitches acting like the skinny mean bitches that they call their oppressors. I can't. I'm not built for it.
Tied up in the front thinking it's cute.
Which I did find interesting, even if Samira didn't like Takara's question, and it was upsetting. Wouldn't Samira, of all people, understand that this woman probably repeats her clothing because she's also plus size and they ain't got the plus sizes in the store?
You got me agreeing with Michelle. Do you understand how annoyed I am that you have me agree with Michelle? Michelle, who makes her entire brand being fat phobic, is going up against a fat girl, and you have me. This is like when y'all had me defending Nick against black people. Why y'all making me do this? Why y'all making me do this? Y'all keep making me okay. I said my allegiance is to the truth, and this entire summer y'all have made me prove it. Y'all keep on making me stand in solidarity with people I don't even fucking like.
Even have them in the right spot.
Why do I gotta get it in a mail?
But Samira, the person who says that people shouldn't make fun of people's bodies, clothing, looks, whatever, she reinstates and says, just so you know, if people are laughing at your shows, it's because you're wearing ugly clothes.
So let me reassure you that when people are laughing at your shows, they ain't laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And let me clarify my tone. I mean this to be rude.
That is so mean. That is such a mean video to put out. Y'all know that I could chin check a bitch. I have a reputation apparently. I can chin check a bitch. That's not chin that's just mean. I tell people all the time, if I am telling a righteous truth because I want to have a positive impact and making sure that problematic behaviors are corrected, and I'm supplying solutions. Do y'all see what's missing? If I am telling an inconvenient truth and supplying solutions in that, and being compassionate to how we're getting here, but still pushing you to do better, that's not mean. It could be uncomfortable. It could be blunt, but it's not mean. This girl just made fun of a fat girl for how she looks and provided zero solutions. That is not activism. That is not activism. Have any of you heard a solution aside from giving Walmart 48 hours? You just being a mean big bitch for the sake of it. Nah, bruh. And Samira, if you see this video, please Google me before you respond. I'm built different.
Have a good day.
Just as with any big influencer calling out another creator, the bigger creator always wins. And people deem Takara problematic.
Did you hear what Michelle said? She's right. The bigger creator always wins. Up until this point, Samira knew that, and this is actually some weird internet math, a popular content creator has a bigger nuisance to make than a conglomerate. If a couple of really popular creators say, Target, we're going to boycott you, it can make damage because we have a bigger imprint culturally, right? Because it's already David and Goliath. But if it's two influencers, it's not a conglomerate that you can do David and Goliath with. If two influencers win, suddenly Goliath wins, right? Whoever has the most following when it's person to person is the person who wins. So when it's person to system, you can play, oh, I'm fighting for the truth, and you might actually be a nuisance and be a thorn in their side. But when it's person to conglomerate, right? But when it's person to person, whoever has the biggest followers win. When y'all saw my video about Icky thought because I had like 80,000 followers and he had 250,000 followers, that maybe it'd be easy to bully me. Well, Icky didn't realize that CNN has millions of followers. The Griot has millions of followers. Hollywood Unlocked has millions of followers. Black Love has millions of followers. So even though my personal brand is only 100,000 people, if that, I've been part of major brands. So there are millions of people who know me, even if they don't follow me. He looked at, I know for a fact, he looked at my numbers and thought, she doesn't have enough followers for her to win this argument, even if she's telling the truth. he forgot to check my resume. That is what happened here. Samira looked at Takara and said, I'm a much bigger content creator than Takara, so it's going to be easy for me to bully her. And that's exactly what she did. And you guys know I hate how quickly we use the word bully for Black women. Unfortunately, for the first time this summer, a Black woman is being called a bully because she actually is one. And I fucking hate it here.
Especially when they dug up her comedic act of saying she wants to do the unthinkable, like lose weight.
I just want to lose some weight and get toned and healthy.
The fat activist, the body positivity activist attacked Takara for saying that she wants to lose weight. Do you see why I can't be a part of this movement? If I was a part of this movement, they would have ate me up when I lost that 70 pounds. I can't be part of a movement that doesn't want me to do something for my health. You can be fat and healthy, but I wasn't. It was cortisol weight. Any movement that drags you for wanting to be healthier for personal reasons, count me the fuck out. And that's why I'm body neutral. Big bodies, medium bodies, large bodies, extra large bodies. Respect people in whatever body they choose to have. Mind you, Takara got a body. Okay, can we just, okay.
Like, you know. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate everybody saying I look good. I want to feel good too.
Thank you, Takara.
I'm tired.
Takara, thank you. You can look amazing. People like, Bridget's always like, oh, Blue, I love that you have an hourglass shape. That's great. And if it hurts when I'm trying to walk up the steps, I still feel like for me, I need to lose weight. I don't think anybody else has to lose weight. That's a personal choice. So I love that she said that. A lot of times, and this is the thing that's so interesting when you are a 1X, you are fat, and though you're the kind of fat that people feel like they can make exceptions for. So to the point of the young lady Samira, and because I want to be fair to Samira, even though I think that she is a performative bully. When I went from a 1X to a 3X, I did see a fucking difference. All fat people are not created equal. When I was a 3X, I was like, oh, I've been a sexy big bitch my entire life. This feels different. So there are differences. And still, though, that doesn't mean you get to be a bully. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. You guys, somebody said, oh, you just discovered me last week. I love that. I appreciate y'all for listening to the nuance and not just thinking I'm being mean. Because people love to call honest people mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being direct, and I'm still doing my best to be compassionate. When Samira makes sense, I promise, even though I think she's performative, I will give her credit.
I'm going through shit sideways. I want to go through them straight. I want to walk straight. I'm tired of this. Excuse me, sorry.
So, Takara feeling the fire under her booty cheeks. Takara came back, posted a video explaining herself, which then Samira reposted as she walked on the beach, enjoying her Starbucks.
I want to first and foremost say thank you to everybody who's been super supportive these past couple of days. I don't know what's going on that girl's page and why she's still dragging this situation, but you gotta let.
So Takara made a video saying, please leave me alone. Your followers are dragging me. Does this sound familiar? Why did we start this video? Because Samira's mother was crying in her AKA outfit looking pretty as fuck because her daughter was being bullied. But is it not the same thing her daughter did to Takara? Kari did to you what you did to Takara. Did your mother cry over that? Just curious.
Go, honey. You post up what I said about you. Nothing that I said about you is a lie. Nothing that I said about you is a lie. You stand for plus size exclusivity in stores. You've been a 3X for years. You don't have to be a 3X. If the stores are not going to change their policies to make you feel more comfortable when you shop in their stores, then you make yourself feel more comfortable when you shop in their stores. That's the only thing that you have control over. And to be honest, that's the best option for the situation at hand.
Now, I don't agree with this point. I don't think that if a store doesn't sell your size, then you have to starve yourself and go on a diet. I do not agree with Takara on this. I do think, though, that if a store doesn't have your size and you try to find a way to advocate for the store to carry your size and they refuse, you do have to move on and find something that works for you. So I don't think that if a store doesn't have your size, you just have to lose weight. I did cut off the part where Michelle doubles down on this point that I actually do find problematic. So I just need you to know, I don't agree with everybody on everything at all in this video. Everybody in this video is saying shit that I don't agree with. Even Takara, even though she was bullied.
It's just to lose some more weight so you don't have to deal with this. Then everybody that's coming on my page trying to defend her, y'all all look exactly the same. All of y'all look the same. Everybody look the same.
Okay, Takara, I'm trying to have your back, but you're being... Do you see how every time, thank you, that's what Takara lost me. Every time I try to have somebody's back, they keep talking. So at this point, I'm like, okay, Samara's an asshole, Takara's a little bit of an asshole, but neither one of them deserves to be bullied. Takara is an asshole a little bit with that point. Samara is an asshole for a lot of reasons. And neither one of them deserves to be bullied. So, Samara, when you spent all that time bullying this girl and then posted a video, let me show you how diabolical this video is for those who don't understand what you're looking at. This woman is pleading to you to leave her alone because your followers are bullying her online and sending her death threats and trying to dox her and do all types of stuff. And your response to her plea for compassion is to post a video of you drinking some juice on the beach, having a beautiful day, ignoring her pleas for compassion. That is mean-spirited. So Samara is being mean-spirited in this video, and Takara is being problematic. Everybody's a little bit wrong. And still the case remains, Samira allowed a woman to be bullied, and her response to a woman being bullied was, girl, shut the fuck up. Samira's response to a girl being bullied was to drink her juice and say, girl, shut the fuck up non-verbally. So if you can tell somebody non-verbally to shut the fuck up because I'm having a beautiful day at the beach. Oh, you still crying? You still crying? I'm having a beautiful day at the beach. If you could do that to Takara, why are you mad a year later when Cardi B does it to you? And here's the thing. Takara was in your comments saying, hey, I think you might have misread me, and immediately tried to fix it. Takara immediately tried to fix it, and you still allowed her to be bullied and said, I don't care if you're trying to fix it. I'm going to double down. So you let somebody get bullied, told them you didn't care non-verbally. No, cussed them out and called them ugly first. Made fun of their entire fucking career. And then when they pled for you to help, you showed them that you have no intention because you're spending a day at the beach. And yet when Cardi does a watered down, Cardi did much less than this, guys. What Cardi did, Cardi wouldn't even turn on the lights. Cardi sat in her room in the dark under the covers and said, girl, shut the fuck up. Here's a cupcake. Problematic and still way less performative. So Cardi saying, girl, shut the fuck up, here's a cupcake. Your mama gotta cry. But you drove to the beach just to mock Takara. Got it. Yeah, count me the fuck out.
I don't wear a 3X. Just to be clear, I wear a 1X. So for everybody in the comments asking me where do I shop for my 3X at, I don't wear a 3X. I'm not knocking women who do wear a 3X. I don't wear a 3X. And I have to address it because it gets to a point of integrity. I'm not a fat phobic, and when people start putting your integrity on the line, you have to defend your integrity.
I agree with this. Even if you're on Samira's side, you can't debate that she has been complaining about this for years. Her following has expanded along with her waist size, making it even more difficult for her to find clothing. If she doesn't want to lose weight, fine. But it looks like her efforts are not improving anything, especially because she was complaining that a lot of plus size businesses are going out.
Cora just said they closing their stores. Last week, Aruda said they closing theirs. The shit in Lane Bryant is still ugly and will forever be. So when y'all see me in that mall, up in Cap, Urban Outfitters, Aritzia, Aerie, and all y'all fans trying on the smalls, mediums, larges, and extra larges, I don't want to hear Jack Diddley squat about it.
She literally, did y'all see this? For those who thought I was making it up. She literally said, the clothes they make for me are ugly, so I'm going to keep going to stores and grabbing smalls, mediums, and larges. I gave y'all about 20 minutes to have an answer for me from the last time I asked. How does that serve the fat liberation movement? How does telling people that you're going to keep going to stores and ripping clothes that don't fit you on purpose, on camera, for views and likes and rage bait, how does that advance the fat liberation movement? How does that elevate the conversation? Who does that impact positively? Because the only person from what I've seen thus far who's positively impacted by Samira is Samira. I am a big bitch with big titties and a small waist. I can put on a large. I can't cough too hard, but I can put it on. I feel funny even thinking about putting on a medium, let alone taping it and uploading it and watching it get millions of views.
Can we talk about Samira's privilege? She comes from a pretty rich family. She could use her own privilege and platform to create a clothing line that she would deem would respond and show all of her accomplishments.
I keep on hitting
especially
the
when
wrong
they
button. Sorry. I keep on hitting that button. There we go. Where's the button? Every time I think I'm hitting the button that's supposed to be the volume, it ends up being the button.
Especially because she was complaining that a lot of plus-size businesses are going out.
There we go.
Clothing line that she would deem
said about you is a lie. You stand for plus size exclusivity in stores. You've been a 3X for years. You don't have to be a 3X. If the stores are not going to change their policies to make you feel more comfortable when you shop in their stores, then you make yourself feel more comfortable when you shop in their stores. That's the only thing that you have control over. And to be honest, that's the best option for the situation at hand. It's just to lose some more weight so you don't have to deal with this. Then everybody that's coming on my page trying to defend her, y'all all look exactly the same. All of y'all look the same. Everybody look the same. I don't wear a 3X. Just to be clear, I wear a 1X. So for everybody in the comments asking me where do I shop for my 3X at?
Let me get out of body one more time. Oh, okay.
I don't wear a 3X. And I have to address it because it gets to a point of integrity. I'm not a fat phobic, and when people start putting your integrity on the line, you have to defend your integrity.
I agree with this. Even if you're on Samira's side, you can't debate that she has been complaining about this for years. Her following has expanded along with her waist size, making it even more difficult for her to find clothing. If she doesn't want to lose weight, fine. But it looks like her efforts are not improving anything, especially because she was complaining that a lot of plus-size businesses are going out.
Cora just said they closing their stores. Last week, Aruda said they closing theirs. The shit in Lane Bryant is still ugly and will forever be. So when y'all see me in that mall, up in Cap, Urban Outfitters, Aritzia, Aerie, and all y'all faves trying on the smalls, mediums, larges, and extra larges, I don't want to hear Jack Diddley squat about it.
Can we talk about Samira's privilege? She comes from a pretty rich family. She could use her own privilege and platform to create a clothing line that she would deem appropriate, that would carry all the sizes in the world, that can fit every booty cheek.
By the way, Samira's family's rich. Just want to put that out there. So Michelle saying, and God, I hate that. Guys, I was an emotional intelligence coach who hated the fact that people did not know how to become emotionally intelligent. What did I do? I created a curriculum. If you are an actual activist, you get to a point in your career where you actually have to come up with a solution of some sort. So for you to come from a rich family and be Harvard educated and to keep going to conglomerates ripping clothes rather than creating a solution, if she cared as much as she says she does and she's a fashion girly, I'm shocked that she hasn't come out with any clothing as a solution. Not everybody wants to do that, but somebody who is this fashion obsessed, if it was sincere and not about clout, it would be the obvious next step.
If it's so easy. But instead of doing that, she came up with a song that people can buy. If it's so easy to create a clothing company, if it's so important to Samira to have cute clothes for plus-size women, and there's so much demand, girl, make it happen. Kakisha did. She's a way smaller creator, and her clothes go up to 6X. They are supplying for the demand and promoting so people can get clothes. Samira, they don't have the connections that you have.
You got a platform, you gotta use it.
Samira has had so much exposure from being on talk shows, promoting her song.
Okay, tell me what this is about. If you look like you can...
For those who say Michelle is a hater, yes, she is. If you just came in, we talked about how much of a hater Michelle was earlier and how we hate that she had so many valid receipts on Samira and all the hateful parts were intentionally cut off. So only the receipts are being shown. We do not agree with Michelle in general. So if anybody missed that call out, just make sure you know that we know Michelle is problematic, and unfortunately a broken clock is right twice a day.
Fit it, don't get it.
Exactly.
How you say it? Show us how you say it.
If it look like you can fit it, then you better go and get it.
She walked the red carpet for the Grammys. She sang the national anthem at a Lakers game.
It's driving me crazy, Lee. I hate that.
She is friends with football players.
We got 1, 2, 3. If it looks like you can fit it, you better go and get it.
She's been in beauty campaigns.
I'm in a beauty campaign. Okay, I promise you that these are happy tears.
But are they real tears or tears from the class that you took to accumulate tears? Anyway, and lastly, she rubs elbows with Rihanna.
So guess where we at? Guess where we at, baby?
That is a lot of opportunity and privilege to come up with just a few couple pieces that are 4X and above and wear them to these events instead of promoting your song. I don't know. I'm starting to think that she actually doesn't want a solution to this problem because it's a lot harder than complaining on the internet. But you know, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And she is not broke. She has a ton of clothes.
You want some lavish lace for your lavish face?
Samira would get into a few internet beefs with creators and brands, calling people out, calling people fat phobic, and her fan base would always rush to the comments or go to those people.
You know what just hit me that's so funny? The reason we're having this conversation is because Cardi B understood that she has big-bodied fans and created extended sizes for her big-bodied fans. And then when the extended sizes disappeared just like that, she playfully, problematically, but still playful. You can be problematic and playful simultaneously. She playfully went on live and said, damn, I didn't realize how many of you big bitches love me. We sold out in a couple of minutes. The irony of this is Cardi B, technically speaking, is more solution-oriented for fat people than Samira is. Cardi B, technically, was less of a bully to Samira than Samira was to Takara. This is why I can't rock with feeling bad for Samira. You are attacking someone who actually created a solution for the demographic that you claim to be fighting for. And you're crying about your mental health because she treated you a fraction as mean as you treated another fat person. On what planet am I supposed to feel sorry for you? In what world is that not hypocritical? By the way, she blocked Michelle for making this video. If she blocks me, that's fine, child. I'm okay with that.
People's profiles and do what people do when their favorite influencer calls someone out. We talked about Sam at Every Size, who was very respectful, communicated that she didn't agree with Samira, and you know what Samira did? Completely obliterated her looks. And all her commenters did as well.
Well,
what do you disagree with?
Last week,
Tiong, what do you disagree with? We watched somebody bully somebody worse than what we watched Cardi B bully her. We played both videos. So objectively speaking, Cardi B said, shut the fuck up. I'm not going to apologize, and went back to sleep. Samira literally made a video dragging the person for their appearance, for their clothes, and for their purpose, and said, I'm intentionally being disrespectful to you. Then she played a video of the person begging for compassion while at the beach mocking her plea for compassion. That is in no world lighter than someone saying, shut the fuck up and going back to sleep. So what do you disagree with, considering this is just a fact-based analysis? I'm waiting for an answer. I really want you guys to know. On this page, if you're brave enough to make a statement, I want to honor that by giving you a space to explain yourself. How is making a video mocking a person personally not worse than someone saying, all of you who have a problem need to leave me the fuck alone? How is a general statement somehow worse than attacking an individual for their appearance, their purpose, and their clothing, when you're supposed to be a fat activist who focuses on retail? I'm sincerely waiting for an answer, guys. Okay. I just want you to know that this is not the kind of space where you just yell things at the commentator. I really want intelligent discourse to happen. And if you guys see a blind spot, I actually want you to point it out. I'm empowering you to do so.
I stumbled across a very loud, up-and-coming fat activist.
Samira tried to make this about race, and she was very successful. All of her followers went to Sam's profile and said that she was racist. Because
the girl said, a very loud fat activist. Another fat activist said, yo, I ran across this girl who's always screaming in her videos. We literally watched Samira scream in 15 videos back to back. Who said Party should not be giving a pass? Who said Party was giving a pass? Cardi wasn't giving a pass. Who gave Cardi a pass, my love? I need you to be intentional with language, especially when it's a strong accusation. Who gave Cardi a pass? Because if you roll back the tape, there's 10 different times where I called Cardi out. So who gave Cardi a pass? Because calling somebody out and giving them a pass you can't do both. Sincere question. Who gave Cardi a pass? Here's the thing. What some of you are experiencing is cognitive dissonance. Because you cannot stand Cardi. I'm going to say this right now. A lot of you are experiencing cognitive dissonance. You cannot stand Cardi and think she is ignorant because Cardi does play the ignorant role on purpose sometimes. And you see a pretty plus-size girl who's talented and brilliant. You naturally want to cape for one and not the other. But here's the thing, though. Nobody gave Cardi a pass. We're saying Samira is a hypocrite. So you didn't answer my question, love. You still haven't answered my question. Who gave Cardi a pass? Because I called Cardi out 10 times. Who gave Cardi a pass? How are we pointing out that Samira is a hypocrite giving Cardi a pass? It's emotionally unintelligent to think that us calling out what Samira did is giving Cardi a pass. What we're saying is what Cardi did wasn't great, and Samira has done worse to others. And so we find it hypocritical that someone doing a fraction of what you did made you burst into tears when you literally doubled and tripled down on mocking fat people. You're giving a pass. You're giving a pass to her mocking fat people. I'm not willing to do that. If this young lady wasn't somebody who went around bullying other fat girls, we would not be having this conversation. But I find it rich that someone who has bullied a fat girl for weeks is sobbing and grandstanding and virtue signaling to a celebrity who barely acknowledged her. Where does Cardi get a pass in that? I need you to stop using your bias and mistaking it for righteous indignation. That's an unintelligent point, and I believe in you too much. Give me an intelligent response. How is me calling out a bully crying over barely being acknowledged giving Cardi a pass? You're annoyed that you don't get to be righteous indignant because the person who you were using to be mad at Cardi is full of shit, and that's okay. Mackenzie, we said Cardi was ignorant 17 times. What is missing, Mackenzie? Now you're being willfully ignorant. Mackenzie, we've called Cardi ignorant several times, a couple dozen times. So we already called Cardi ignorant. So what else do you need? So you think us calling Samira a hypocrite is a pass for Cardi being ignorant? Oh, honey, you might need to take my class. That's an intellectually stunted stance. Both can exist. Calling out Samira for being a hypocrite does not make Cardi being ignorant any less valid. That is unintelligent. I want more for you. I want more for you. I'm giving time for you to respond because that makes me sad that you think us saying that Samira is a hypocrite and saying that Cardi is ignorant isn't a morally nuanced approach. Guys, the reason why I'm pausing the video to have this moment is because I need you to understand that this is someone being emotional and thinking they're being logical, and that doesn't fly in this space. I'm an emotional intelligent coach, and you are pretending to be logical while you're being nothing but biased, and you're having a sensitive emotion masquerading as logic, and I can't allow that in this space without calling it out. If it hurts you to admit that someone is a hypocrite because you're stuck on how much you hate Cardi, that is bias on your behalf. If you can't hold both truths, that is intellectually compromised. Sit with that. Sit with that. And also, respectfully, it's a little offensive that I've spent an hour and a half, max, maybe even 2 hours, being intentional. No, but Mackenzie, you can't say that's not what you're saying. I'm reading exactly what you're saying. We're not having a conversation, so I can't misinterpret. You just said, and I'll bring it back up if you want me to, that me calling Samira a hypocrite, which she is giving Cardi a pass, even though I called Cardi ignorant. So it is what you're saying because I'm reading it. I'm not interpreting. I'm reading. I'm reading it artistically I'm reading it quite literally. So if you're not saying what you mean, it's your responsibility to actually say what you mean. Let's continue. Because I don't want a world where just because you can't stand somebody, you can't admit when they are right and wrong. Perfect example. I cannot stand Michelle. Lee has been laughing at how hard it is for me to agree with Michelle. And yet, because my allegiance is to the truth and not to my hatred for Michelle, I'm being forced to admit that Michelle is right, even though I personally don't fuck with her. Learn from that. Cardi can be ignorant, and Samira is still full of shit and a hypocrite. And that's not giving Cardi a pass. It's admitting that Samira had personal gain and not activism as the reason for the call out. If you can only hold space for one and not the other, your capacity is compromised. The ticker shows the class is there's free spots left for the January class. Feel free to sign up. And guys, I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this with love. What I'm saying is that Cardi being ignorant is not a pass. But Mackenzie, who gave Cardi a pass? You have yet to answer that question. If you don't answer the question, I'm going to stop acknowledging you. Nobody gave Cardi a pass in this space, so why are you stuck on that? It's disingenuous. Nobody has given Cardi a pass. You keep on saying a statement that is now starting to be offensive because you say it as if I gave her a pass. Are you too chicken shit to say that I gave her a pass? I'm the only one on the video and I didn't give her a pass. So who are you alluding to? Say it with your chest. Until Mackenzie can tell me who gave Cardi a pass because she said it 6 times now without answering my question, I'm going to stop acknowledging. But just let the record show I gave you an opportunity to clarify, and all you did was repeat something that is passive-aggressive and slightly offensive. When you watch back this video, you're going to see all the times that I painstakingly pointed out that everybody in the scenario is an asshole, including Takara, who got bullied. If I spend all this time acknowledging everybody's flaws, who the fuck got a pass? You guys, that is ego. Your ego is attached to a narrative. And you're making up that I gave Cardi a pass because your ego is annoyed that I'm making you face a truth that you walked in here without. That is an ego tantrum, Mackenzie. I've given you several opportunities. It's been like 10 minutes now. I'm now very comfortable thinking that you're having an ego tantrum, and that's okay. I just wanted to point out that you're making untrue statements in order to be correct. Nobody gave her a pass. Nobody gave her a pass. Unless you're bold enough to say I gave her a pass so I can call you a liar, nobody gave her a pass. So stop repeating it.
Of the microaggressions that Sam said, according to Samira. Even though in the video that Samira refused to show on her channel was in fact Samira yelling, like she normally does in most of her videos. I mean, here's one that I found randomly of her yelling about the Skinnylicious options at Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory, count your days. Count your days. Skinnylicious. 90 calories or less. Is this 2003?
And usually when Samira calls out a brand or person, because she is so huge of a creator, most of them would apologize. But recently she would call out Cardi B and did not get the reaction that she normally would get.
If you that mad girl, eat a cupcake. Talking fat phobic, that's a mistake.
So Cardi B would create merch, and apparently the plus size girlies love Cardi B merch because they bought up her 3X merch.
Completely sold out, especially because you fast.
I love that y'all are just devastated that she was calling it the Cheesecake Factory. This Cheesecake Factory had a Skinnylicious menu, and she's saying that Skinnylicious is fat phobic. I'm okay with the fact that I'm not as sensitive as Samira, and she still has valid feelings. I don't think the Cheesecake Factory having a Skinnylicious menu is fat phobic. I don't think that, but she's allowed to think that. Here's the thing, guys. We can have varying opinions. What we can't do is mischaracterize someone's intentional actions for the sake of being right. The reason why I spent that long talking to Mackenzie is because Mackenzie kept on saying, y'all, you're giving her a pass, and I didn't give her a pass, and I've been so intentional not to give her a pass. It's a little disrespectful to see how intentional I'm being and to keep on saying a fallacy about me. But guess what? That fallacy has to be true for you to hold on to your righteous indignation. You guys need to understand, sometimes, there are times, guys, when I'm watching videos about Love Island. I'm not talking about Love Island anymore because I'm burnt out. But there have been a couple of times where I watched videos about Love Island where they talked about Olandria or Shelly, who I love, and they made a point that made me uncomfortable. And my first reaction was to be like, bullshit. And I was like, no, Blue, you have to be able to sit and listen to this point, even if it makes you uncomfortable about your fave. That is something that I force myself to do because the intolerance that comes from being in a confirmation bias headspace means that you're intellectually compromised. I wasn't being rude by saying that. I was being quite literal. If it is impossible for you to acknowledge an objective fact just because it's inconvenient to how you feel about your fave or how you feel about someone who you have disdain for, in this case, Cardi B, you are not objective anymore. You're biased. And part of working on emotional intelligence is knowing when you're being biased and not conflating that with righteous indignation. There are moments where I'm like, yo, I'm being biased right now. And I can call it out, right? But to read the entire room and clock everybody's flaws is not giving somebody a pass. And I want you all to learn how to do that, guys. I'm being so serious. I want you all to learn how to acknowledge when somebody you don't fucking like actually made a valid point. That is how you stretch yourself.
Clearly you guys are fat as no Chick-fil-A for y'all.
It's because nobody considers plus size fans. And of course, access to plus size clothing is a problem everywhere. But it truly does baffle me, especially in music, because do you think plus size people don't listen to your songs? Like, do you really think you don't have plus size fans? And you know, it's not just merch. It's also like any clothing collabs that artists do. They never consider their plus size fans. Everything stops at an XL or an XXL, which is not a plus size. Go to Google before you comment something silly. But like, yeah, it's just a complete lack of consideration. And then when you do attempt to have a 3XL, which is also not a plus size, again, Google is free. And then you go and pair it with fat phobic comments like the ones Cardi B made. It's really just like, even when you think you're being considered, you're not. And
so I love this comment. I think using the term scandalicious as normalized fat phobic. Thank you. When I said that Cardi B's comment was a 3.5, to me, anything under a 5 is normalized fat phobia, and you have to pick your battles. It doesn't mean that you let it slide. It means you choose and pick what deserves your energy. Thank you for making this statement. I start off this video by saying everything that Cardi B said was technically fat phobic. That's how I started this video, right? Something can be technically fat phobic. Something can be, the word picnic is technically racist. And you have to choose, because in reality, you cannot walk around subscribing to rage bait. You have to choose what to respond to. If you have a platform like Samira going this hard over a 3, when there's all these 5, 6, 7, and 8s that can actually help the community, I find it suspect. And that's a subjective personal opinion.
all that said, it's not that hard to have plus size merch. And it's also not that hard to not be fat phobic.
Okay, let me... Yep, okay, I just wanted to get a closer look at her profile because along with not having a clothing line, she also doesn't have merch. So I have to ask, how do you know, Samira? Once again, if it's not that hard, do it.
Do it!
Start a clothing line.
Just do it!
Get some merch. I'm not saying you can't. I think that Samira can.
So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
But I think she also knows that it's harder than she wants to say that it is on her profile. After this video, Samira would get so many people saying, it was a joke, calm down.
Oh my gosh. So I have like a whole bunch of people crying, talking about I'm fat phobic and stuff. It's not that serious.
Fast forward.
Here's a cupcake.
Cardi B would also comment and say, girl, people make fun of my BBL every day. I was talking to my fans who make fun of the same thing. Like,
okay, so for those who are saying 3X ain't plus, then what is it? So I think there's a distinction that says that 3XL is not plus size. Well, it is plus size, but 3XL, when they are making clothes, and this is something that Samira talks about a lot that confuses me, so correct me if I got this wrong. 3XL means that they took a large, didn't change the proportions, and just made it 3 times bigger. 3X means they actually cut it for a large body. So 3XL is just a bigger version of a straight size, and 3X is actually built for big people and has different proportions. They're both plus size though. A 3X and a 3XL are both plus size. A 3X might fit you nicer because it's made for big old bitties. Whereas the 3XL is just the same outfit, larger, but you're still a big bitch. I'm a big bitch, and it's okay. It's still plus size. You guys, what did I say in my video about, and to Mackenzie, if you're offended, honey, it's okay. I know I was speaking to you very bluntly, but you kept on saying things that were mischaracterizing the intention and the execution of this live, and so I had to take that moment with you so you could stop writing things that weren't true. But I will say this, guys. In the video that I made about situationships, I said that people tend to hyper-focus on semantics where compassion and reality are no longer in the fray. To keep on saying a 3XL is not a plus size as a talking point, that's rage bait. What did you write as soon as she said it? You said, huh? Right. For you to go, huh? I'm confused. 3XL, that's a big person. I'm confused. What's happening? That's supposed to make you engage with her content. Even making this a constant talking point is part of marketing. It's part of the performance. It's a provocative statement. Saying a 3XL is not plus size and is an intentionally provocative statement. I'm saying this to somebody who worked in the news for a decade. And thank you, Gia. To your point, sizing in general is not consistent. So even that's a weird hill to die on, because there are some 3XLs that are actually cut like 3Xs because people don't know the difference. She says things that are provocative and full and technical and on paper are sound, but don't actually move as a way to improve the lives of any other fat Black people except for herself. I can't respect it, bruh. As somebody who actually cares about bettering my community, even when it makes them uncomfortable, as I've shown many a time, I can't respect this kind of performative activism. And a lot of people on TikTok are just like this. They have provocative talking points. They say things that make you go, huh? 3X? What's that mean? They scream at Cardi B, and because you hate Cardi B, now Cardi B being ignorant because, you know, water is wet is a thing that makes you want to be on their side. And yet still, how are they advancing? Activism is about advancing. I'm asking, what is being advanced by this girl? I actually want somebody to find an answer so I can actually shout her out and give some balance to this, because it hurts me that I have no answer.
It's not that serious. Samira did take it serious. Samira wasn't laughing. Samira said, where is the joke? Why aren't I not laughing? I can't be left out.
I want to be included.
Oh, just like she can't be left out of wearing merch, she can't be left out of the joke. If she...
The person was saying about the thing about picnic, this is a widely contested thing. It was an arbitrary example. Some people are saying that picnic colloquially was used as shorthand during Jim Crow for pick a nigga. So people would have picnics and watch lynchings. But then the etymology, right? Etymology means the history of a word. The etymology of picnic is like picnic, which is like a French word. And people are saying just because the etymology is French doesn't mean that in everyday life it wasn't used as a racist term. It's hotly debated. It's one of those academic debates. And honestly, I'm not sure we'll ever really know. It was an arbitrary example, but I can see that it has you guys in the comments confused. So I wanted to explain that. I hope that was clear.
He doesn't find it funny,
then it's not funny.
I'll be damned if I don't talk about shit that matters.
So Samira would do the most mentally stable thing to do when talking to Cardi B, who likes to joke around. She decides to buy Cardi B, the woman who does this. You never know fuck with you! Literature. She first films herself purchasing the books.
You guys, filming yourself going to a bookstore to purchase Cardi B a bunch of books that you're going to flash in front of the camera without even letting us read the titles. I honestly cannot think of any way that's not performative. I can't think of a single way that's anything but performative.
I was wondering if there's anyone that could help me find some books on like fat phobia, weight stigma, diet culture.
And then she responds to Cardi B's comments in a very angry, I'm mad at you like a mother video.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek.
Why are you going like... Why are you... What is... Y'all, this is so condescending, bruh.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. That was a long ass pause. So this is what a lot of people, including me, I'm just gonna raise my hand right here, that people don't like about Samira. Now, I'm not making fun of the fact that she was offended that Cardi B told her fans not to eat Chick-fil-A. I would expect her to be offended by this. And people are allowed to be offended. Who cares? But the way that she talks to people when she tells people off, she just acts like she's so superior. Like she's so fucking more enlightened than them. That she went to Harvard and here's some books to read, you freaking idiot. How dare you say this joke? That's not funny, because in chapter 4, 5, and 6, it says
so
this
Tara
thing that
responded,
it's not
guys.
funny.
I'm gonna offer you a few books that I recommend.
She just seems like that disappointed parent pointing her finger and staring angrily in the camera. It's just a lot.
If you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL.
I personally think people are way too confident on the internet with what they say.
You need to, but... So here's the thing, guys. You want to hear something funny? After she went after Cardi B, now, remember how I said Cardi B was at a 3.5? A young lady who's a little bit crazy, like, person
respect. Also, did y'all recently have a meeting that I didn't hear about because is fat?
So there's a young lady who's a little bit crazy. Like, her behavior is a little, what's a better word for crazy? Manic, but even that sounds like I'm diagnosing. I don't want to sound like I'm diagnosing. Untethered, maybe? A young lady who's offensive at a 7. Cardi B's offensive at a 3. 3.5. A young lady who I would be scared to run into her into an alley. Erratic, thank you. Erratic is the perfect word. A young lady who's erratic and chaotic and a little bit scary would come out and check Samira. Doesn't have clout like Cardi B. And guess who didn't make a response? Let me see if I can find it.
Stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL.
I personally think people are way too confident on the internet with what they say, but at the same time, it is the internet. People are gonna say what they say, especially if your booty cheeks look like whatever's going on with Cardi B.
You don't understand why fat phobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about.
And personally, I don't think Cardi B was gonna read those books, especially the way that Samira came to her. Mostly because she said she wasn't going to.
I got bigger shit to fucking worry about. And I gotta fucking go school motherfucking shopping. The fuck? And I got a whole album to roll out. And on top of that, I'm getting fat my own fucking self.
She also said she stands by exactly what she said. Too bad, Miss Plus Size.
My PR saying to apologize, but I'm not a fake bitch. I ain't gonna fucking apologize for shit that I don't feel like I need to apologize.
Personally, I'm not part of the never apologize crowd. I'm someone who will absolutely apologize. 1, if I'm truly sorry, and 2, if I really think I did something wrong, because I'm not sorry. And I don't think if Cardi B said sorry anyway, Samira would take that and be like, okay, great. We would just all have to move on. But some of Samira's fans did not move on. They were pissed. Some fans who were named Chunky Mac.
Cardi B, what the f***? My fucking problem with you is not the fact that you sold 3 X's and you're refusing to restock them. I could give 2 shits less. You've made up your mind. I'm not here to change your mind on that. But calling your fans fat as f***, that's not okay.
Yeah, you should have called them chunky as f***. Come on, have some respect. Also, did y'all recently have a meeting that I didn't hear about? Because is fat a bad word again? Because Samira just came out with a new song.
Happy Fat Tuesday.
And, well, there's this.
I can't believe some of y'all still trying to use fat as an insult. Baby, this is an insult?
What is it, Samira?
What do y'all think about this? I want to hear from all y'all. She literally made a video saying that she's not offended by the word fat because being fat is fine. So if she's not offended by the word fat, interesting.
Samira, is fat an insult or is it not? Are you confident or are you insecure? You gotta pick one because we are tired, confused, and some of us are very hungry, and that's not a good combination. Well, people said that Cardi B was unhinged, that Cardi B was, just ripped Samira a new one, that she went crazy. I personally don't think what Cardi said was all that bad. It just seemed like a very, very small thing that Cardi said. But then someone would come out off
here's the
their
erratic
couch.
lady. Thank you for those who helped me find the word. We're getting to the part with the erratic lady. So here's the thing. If Cardi B pitched you up at 3.5, then if you are about that life, why would you not respond to the person who's offensive at like a 7 or an 8? This person is about to be incredibly fucking offensive. All of us can agree to this.
With a very interesting haircut, you know, a little John Adams going on, and say things that were a lot worse than what Cardi B said.
You eat too much. Just big. Ain't nobody telling you just because you can eat 10 plates don't mean you need to eat 10 plates. Just because you can scarf down a whole buffet don't mean you need to. Bum.
Now, I don't cry often, but I think if some pregnant chick on her couch with a Benjamin Franklin haircut called me a bum, I would just bawl.
You eat too fucking much. Just big. Ain't nobody telling you just because you can eat 10.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but the music and this is so ridiculous, y'all. Do y'all see how ridiculous this has become? Social media is not a real place. A pregnant woman in a Benjamin Franklin haircut is screaming that she. Oh my God, this is so wild.
Plates don't mean you need to eat 10 plates. Just because you can scarf down a whole buffet don't mean you need to. Bum.
So Samira would not respond to E. Kane or offer her any books. I don't think E. Kane would read them. Most.
Y'all, I don't mean to laugh. Does anybody find this ridiculous? Does anybody? Thank you, Emily. Emily, thank you. Emily said, I don't like being called fat. I'm a size 14 when I've been an A for most of my life. So it does like to be bigger, but I'm not going to let a celebrity I don't know make me feel bad. Here's the thing. And Emily, I get it, right? And it's a personal thing. I just find it interesting that the person who's made a bunch of videos saying, I don't mind being called fat because fat is fine, is now going on a tirade, a social media crusade about a fleeting joke from a ignorant and problematic, proudly problematic celebrity who wasn't even talking to her. My pattern recognition brain is glitching. Yes, the lady was pregnant with a Benjamin Franklin haircut. I don't know who E. Kane is, but I'm scared. I'm not scared of a lot of people. I'm not scared, but E. Kane being pregnant with that haircut. Can somebody explain to me why her hair's cut like that? Thank you. The reason why E. Kane was blatantly fat phobic. E. Kane was fat phobic at like an 8 or I said it was a 7, but it's probably an 8, right? E. Kane was literally screaming, you stupid fat bum. Crickets. But Cardi B told her plus size fans, I didn't know you fat bitches like me so much. And they're kikiing and laughing with, everybody's problematic, but why is the 3.5 getting approached and not the 7 or 8? Clout. Ironically, Cardi B did a song to do it for clout. E. Kane isn't. Thank you guys. If Samira had this crusade against E. Kane, I would be 100% on her side. If Samira had this smoke for E. Kane, I would be 100. But guess what? Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. The reason she didn't is E. Kane has a bigger following. What did I say? When it is a celebrity or conglomerate, right? You can play David and Goliath, right? So against Cardi B is like Walmart. I always hate when y'all say, oh, we have the same 24 hours in the day as Beyonce. No, we don't. Beyonce is a conglomerate. Beyonce is Walmart. Beyonce is not a singular person. The name Beyonce stands for a brand and a business, right? So Cardi B was wrong. And because Cardi B was wrong, but she's a big name like with Walmart and Target and all the other brands, she thought that even though Cardi made a tacky joke, like the tacky jokes that she always makes, with a fan base who subscribes to it, she thought that the name Cardi B washes on trial would make her go viral. She was correct. It did make her go viral. But unfortunately for her, Cardi B doesn't apologize like Walmart. Meanwhile, E. Kane, the person who does need to be checked on behalf of fat people, the person who is flagrantly being fat phobic, the person who, unlike Cardi B, because here's the thing, Cardi B kept on saying y'all. Cardi B didn't say Samira. She said y'all. Y'all are tripping. Y'all need to leave me alone. Cardi B wasn't even talking to you. She kept on saying y'all. E. Kane called you out by name. So a celebrity with a big name who's a great clout chase, who makes a joke at a 4. A 4 is still problematic, guys. A 4 is still problem. A 1 is problematic. A person who makes a moderately problematic joke and not talks to you, never mentions you, you burst into tears. But a person who attacks you personally at an 8, it's crickets. I'm sorry, guys. I can call out Cardi B and still recognize that Samira did a clout chase and bit off more than she could chew.
Because she said that she wouldn't.
What if Samira responds to me? I don't give a damn. I'm probably not gonna respond back because she's probably gonna tell me to read a book on fat phobia now. I'm not reading shit on fat phobia.
But she would make a response to all of this, as Samira knows the one with the most followers wins, and Cardi did. So Samira would post one final TikTok post. When I spoke about Cardi B's fatphobic comments, I did so respectfully, with the hope of encouraging her to think about the impact of her words on her plus-size fans. Her choice to respond by telling me to shut the fuck up and to calm my was vulgar, dismissive, and escalated the issue.
Wait, Cardi B telling you... First of all, Cardi B didn't say your name. Cardi B said, y'all need to shut the fuck up. If Cardi B said her name, let me know, because I haven't seen her name in any of the clips. Cardi B responded to the ecosystem of shut the fuck up, but because you are the loudest name in the ecosystem, you knew that she was probably intending you, but she didn't say your name. You tagged Takara. You responded to Takara and posted a video of her on your page with you smirking at her as she begged you for compassion. If Cardi had taken a picture or a video of Samira and did the same thing that Samira did to Takara, I would be 100% on Samira's side. If Cardi B did to Samira what Samira did to Takara, I would find it disgusting. Cardi B, again, is problematic, but did a 10th of what you did, and you are writing a whole monologue about how tacky it is. So if it's tacky, what would you call what you did to Takara? If what Cardi did to you was tacky, what would you call what you did to Takara? Simple question. Everybody's wrong in the scenario. But if somebody with a platform didn't you say your name, here's the thing, guys. To Mackenzie's point earlier, Cardi has a bigger platform. That's why Cardi didn't say her name. You weaponized your platform as much as you could.
You entirely. I am no stranger to fatphobic harassment in my comments and DMs, but Cardi B's direct comment toward me have encouraged a new level. By speaking to me in that way publicly, she once again signaled to millions of people that this kind of language and violence toward fat women is acceptable. I will stand by everything that I said in my video, especially her being talented and powerful. I truly do wish the best for her. However, for my own peace, I'll be taking a small step back from posting while I focus on my mental health. But make no mistake, I will never stop advocating for plus-size people to be treated with dignity and respect. Ooh, that was a long one. Okay. Many people said, you put yourself in this situation, and why aren't you responding to the lady with the Thomas Jefferson hair?
Hypocrisy is making 4 videos talking about how your feelings is hurt regarding a conversation and discussion that had absolutely nothing to do with you, wasn't even about you, and didn't even at you. And then want to sit there and have the audacity to try to come at Cardi B with condescension under the guise of educating and activism, talking about she needs to read books about fat phobia. The fuck? But I bet you don't have that same smoking energy for E. Kane, because E. Kane definitely came for you. She definitely at you. And
By
she
name.
definitely made her video about you.
By name.
But you extra corpulent ass birds ain't got that smoking energy for E. Kane.
You know, this was a very interesting response from Samira, because this never happens. She always has a fire under her booty cheeks, ready to come back with an angry video of her pointing at the screen, or a video of her saying absolutely nothing and sipping a smoothie as she walks on the beach, like she did with Takara. And speaking of Takara, she got on this.
Okay, listen, hear me out. Everybody keep asking me, DMing me, what you think about what's going on between that girl Samira and Cardi B? Listen, it's Cardi B from the Bronx, I'm from the Bronx. There's a way that we talk, there's a way that we carry ourselves that's misunderstood. And I think that Cardi B said something without malicious intent. She wasn't trying to hurt anybody. She was joking with her fans.
By the way, guys, I've already said, I don't always agree with everything Takara says. I don't always agree with everything Takara says. I just wanted to make sure that I was fair and showed As Sakara, the person who was bullied last year, I wanted to make sure that her responding was included in this video. It's only fair. If everybody's wrong, it's only fair that everybody have a say.
Fan base. It wasn't directed to anybody outside her fan base. If you didn't buy one of the 3XL shirts that sold out, you shouldn't be offended. It has nothing to do with you. And the people who did buy the 3X shirts that sold out laughed at the shit that Cardi B said because they understand her demeanor, they understand her cadence, they understand who she is. They're fans of hers. I actually just went and bought me a 3XL because I let a goddamn shirt in a jewelry box. And when people ask me, how do you feel about it? Hey, it's an experience. I had to go through it.
I agree, Queen. I hate when people say I'm from a place where I get to be problematic. I'm Latina. That doesn't mean I get to be loud all the time. If I'm screaming at somebody in a way that they find aggressive, condescending, or unsafe, I don't get to scream like Samira. Well, I'm Latina. No, I'm still being unsafe. Just because it's normalized in the Latin community doesn't mean I get away with it. So I completely agree with this statement.
It's nothing like the internet advocating for you and loving on you, and then you fuck the space that you shouldn't fuck with, and now you get to see the force of what an influence really is. Because y'all dragged me, Samara's fan base dragged me for 60 days and 60 nights.
They were on Takara's ass for a very, very, very long time. To the point where I actually got worried for Takara. They were on Takara's ass for a long time. And Samira, I want to make sure I pronounce Samira made a video that basically said, whoop her again. She doubled down on this woman getting ass whooped. And mind you, this is another fat Black woman. I thought you were a fat activist. If you're a fat activist, why are you egging on your audience to attack another fat Black woman just because she disagreed with you? But I'm supposed to feel bad for you when Cardi B does the same thing. Cardi was wrong and you were wrong first. And to the person who said Cardi has a bigger platform, well, the way karma works is what you put out comes back tenfold. Somebody said, Blue, off topic, have you kept up with Justin Baldini versus Blake trial? Yeah, Blake is I'm not a Blake fan. I'm not a Blake fan. I'll just say that.
Over a miscommunication that I outwardly said, hey, I think you read that wrong. She even posted a video where I said, I think you read that in the wrong tone because you don't know me. And instead she made a video trashing me. And when I responded, y'all jumped on a motherfucking bandwagon and trashed me. And now it's to the point where her mom got to get online. And
yup, Mama Samira entered the chat to protect her baby, as she should. I mean,
back to the beginning, I'm about to wrap this up. Her mother.
To my daughter, Samira. And you deserve a lot of respect.
So I'm not making fun of the fact that her mom is hurt. I just have a few questions for Mama. Did she take the same crying class that Samira did? You know, I feel like the phrase like mother like daughter might not be too far here. And two, didn't you tell her this yourself? I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure she's got her number, address, and email.
Mommy loves you and always going to be your biggest defender and your
Why is your mom, who knows where you live and could have just called to check on you, making a TikTok video crying on camera? I suddenly see where Samira gets it from.
biggest protector.
Well, she can't protect Samira from the people on the internet. Because you know how when you do something kind of embarrassing at school and then people laugh at you? Mom, let me hold your hand while I tell you this. Your daughter can't play victim to a circumstance she created. She made the situation about her. Girl, your daughter started it and you taught her nothing about accountability. And it shows. I didn't want to interrupt, but yeah. The way that she spoke reminded me of some of my friends who were, I don't want to say overly loved, but overly loved, where they did anything and their mom just thought they were so precious, and if they messed up, their mom was like, come here, child, it's all right, you're perfect the way you are. Girl, what the ain't no way. Man, if this really that deep to them, they need to go ahead and delete all social media. They will never hear the end of this. Girl, send her this, not us. It just felt like another performance. But you know, those tears soaked up and her and Samira are dancing around at the mall. We be hopping each other up at Samira.
Twist, great fun with it.
After the... Guys. How many of you in here walked in here being on Samira's side and then realized that this might just be a scheme that's how it's set up? I don't see I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. I want to know how this is supposed to be activism. How is this helping advance the cause of fat Black people, fat people in general, fat women, fat people who like to shop for high fashion? I have yet to see the activism. I've seen lots of performance, beautiful gowns. We just watched an hour of footage of Samira performing. Where is the activism? Somebody made a really great point.
These fatphobic comments,
I'm going to fast forward to the end of this video because somebody made a really great point. Cardi B wrote, okay, y'all, let's move on. Y'all won, let's move on. Even Cardi B sick of this, right? And there's a comment that I really thought was important about what I think about both Cardi and Samira. And by the way, guys,
Cardi B cracked a joke at the expense of other people, and Samira positioned herself as the voice of accountability, but then she quickly ducked out when the heat came her way. Now, both sides expose a bigger truth, at least in my opinion, that when you live online, everything becomes performative, whether it's a joke meant to shock or an advocacy meant to trend. But my point and opinion here is that fat people absolutely deserve respect, dignity, and real options in fashion and beyond. So once again, I get where Samira is coming from, but clout chasing callouts from Samira and lazy jokes from Cardi B do not move the needle.
Cloud chasing antics from Samira and lowbrow jokes from Cardi don't move the needle. The entire point of activism is to move the needle. This was supposed to be a video about a performer versus an activist. It actually ended up being a video about two performers. Somebody said, this is scaring me. This is a generational manipulation. Samira could delete someone and mama will tell her where to bury that body. Yeah, guys, there's a thing that happens. And I'm going to be honest. Perfect example. I worked in editorial for 8.5 years. Every time I would get mad, we would get millions of views. My boss started to tell me that they wanted me to write mad op-eds every single week so that we could get millions of views. And I had to say no. And that's why I left the news. I was actually in Samira's position where I was getting a 6-figure salary, where I was being incentivized to play the angry Black woman every single week. And I said no. Because they were right. Whenever I would get sincerely mad, not performatively mad, about something that was just horrible and unjust, the minute I would write from that place of passion and righteous indignation, millions of views. And not in videos, in articles. To get millions of people to read an article is crazy. People that I grew up admiring were calling the newsroom to talk to my boss about my articles. I wrote an article about Jada Pinkett Smith one time. She immediately reposted it. If I was Samira, I could have easily just been angry for advancement, and it felt icky. It felt nasty. It felt like rage baiting. At CNN, they kept on wanting me to come to talk about Bill Cosby, the Black Lives Matter movement. And I love the idea of being an advocate for my people until I realized, wait, y'all just want me to be the angry Black girl who's articulate. I was like, I'm more than the angry Black girl. What Samira is doing is a tale as old as time, right? Somebody said, shout out to Todd. It's a scheme that Todd set up. But like, what the ecosystem demands is that you find a way to provoke. But what have you guys seen me do for the last several weeks that I've been doing these summer lives? I am speaking about things that I sincerely am moved by. If I'm passionate, it's sincere. If I don't care, that's also sincere. There are a lot of videos that you guys have DM'd me asking me to do, and I realized I would have to be performative to do those videos, so I didn't do them. So yeah, guys, this is the message of today. Activism is meant to move the needle. Otherwise, you're just performing. Also, you have to pick and choose your battles because the entire world is inherently racist, misogynistic, and fatphobic. The entire world is built on those systems. You have to pick what makes sense to you and what doesn't. For yourself, you have to pick. But if you're going to speak on behalf of entire groups, you have to be very, very intentional that you're not just creating chaos for personal gain. I don't see a single fat person who was advanced by Samira except for Samira. And the people who support her, all she's doing is teaching them how to be fat and angry. That feels like it makes life harder, not easier. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. The next time you see me will be Tarot Tuesday. I'm excited about the announcements I'm going to be making on Tarot Tuesday. You guys voted. I said if I had 100 votes, I would be doing them monthly, and I got way more than 100 votes. So every first Tuesday of the month, starting this Tuesday, I'll be doing Tarot Tuesday, all 12 of the zodiac signs. And I'm starting subscriptions because I want to do a tarot class, not Tarot Tuesday, but a tarot class where I teach you guys how to learn tarot, but it's not the kind of thing I can make an entire live about for the general public. So if you are someone who's thinking about doing tarot class or I'm smiling because I'm trying to keep it cute. I have a lot of story times that you guys have said, Blue, why don't you share your story times? I would get in trouble because they're a little too spicy. They're not all about sex, but some of them are. So if you want to learn tarot or hear my not suitable for general public story times, I'm going to put all of that in the subscription. And it's like $5. YouTube subscriptions are very inexpensive. The paywall is meant to keep out people who are nosy. It's not meant to like be a cash grab. So I'll let you guys know when I set the subscriptions. I have to figure out which buttons to click. I love y'all for watching. I hope you learned something. And for those who missed the beginning, watch the beginning because I know some of you were annoyed that I spent that long with that young lady, but that young lady had been commenting for an hour and a half, mischaracterizing the intention of this live. If I say I'm going to keep this space safe, I also have to make sure that I keep everybody's hands clean. All right, including people who I don't agree with. I love you all so much. I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye. Bye, family.